Stand up, New York Giant fans. Baddog, we are 2 days away. Well, NFL season already started last night, but we're 2 days away from the New York Giants starting their 2022 regular season.
Yes,
Excited for football to be back. Hopefully, the New York Giants shock everybody in the fan base and find a way to get a W. I'm not going to count my blessings, but what's going on, Baddog?
The weekend is here, ladies and gentlemen. The Christmas weekend is here. The
Let's go.
moment you've all been waiting for, New York Giants football ever since last October when we were out of it. I can't wait until 2023. Can't wait for football. Everybody was saying that February, March. Well, here it is. We are in September. The weekend is here. You know that flies by. We're going to have a little Giants football on Sunday against Tennessee Titans, and we will get a look at what the 2022 version of Big Blue brings us. I'm ready to go.
Let's go. Regardless, I get excited every year at the beginning of the year, and hopefully the New York Giants this year give us something to be proud about. Let's say hello to a couple people in the chat. Toba's in the chat. Anthony's in the chat. Ryan D in the chat. Dara Giant fan in the chat. Brian Daboll in the chat. Troy in the chat. Russell Reed in the chat. LJ in the chat. What's going on? Moose in the chat. Dara, thank you for being a member, man, for 33 months. Says something this before the stream. He said, tough game up ahead. Obviously, number one, Robinson with no better option currently scares the blank out of me. And number two, the O-line with little time to gel is another. And yeah, I mean, those are probably my two biggest concerns going into the game as well. Obviously, in this specific game, Baddog, the first guy you think about is Derrick Henry. And we're thin, obviously, at the linebacking core. But knowing that we're going to have to pay that much extra attention to stopping Derrick Henry, Aaron Robinson is going to be left all alone. And the Titans know that. So, yeah, I that's obviously a major concern going into this game, how he's going to stack up on the outside. With very little help over the top. And the O-line for sure. I mean, these guys have never played with one another. We could say that they look good in the preseason. It was against backups. Now they're going to be put to the test. So we'll see how they stack up. They're going up against one of the best D tackles in the National Football League with Simmons, and they're going to need all the help that they could get. Max protection for Jones. Let's hope the offensive line can hold up and give Jones an opportunity to throw the football. But for sure, I would say those are probably my two biggest concerns, Baddog, going into this game, at least on the Giants' end. Going into this game week one.
Yeah, I think anybody's concerned when you play the Titans is stopping one of the best, if not the best running backs in football, and Derrick Henry. I mean, the man's a truck. So obviously it is going to be the Giants' job. And I said in my last video, you got to put 7 or 8 guys in the box and Tannehill beats you. Good job, RT. I mean, I don't know what else to say. You can't let Derrick Henry beat you. And that's the thing. Everybody that plays the Titans goes in knowing they got to stop Derrick Henry, and very few actually succeed in doing so. It'll be interesting to see exactly how Wink Martindale uses his defense to try to stop, the former MVP guy who's rushed for 2,000 yards. Like I said, one of the best running backs in the league. He was great at Alabama. He's greater in the NFL. Really good player, man. I love Derrick Henry. He's one of my favorites. But we got to stop him this week, and it certainly isn't going to be easy, especially without Azeez Ojulari and Kayvon Thibodeau probably are definitely our two best edge rushers without a doubt. So it'll be up to Wink Martindale and his scheme on how to stop Derrick Henry. Like I said, you got to do your best to stop that guy. And if Tannehill beats you, so be it. But you got to try to put Tannehill in third and long, make him throw some turnovers, hopefully, and we win the turnover battle and squeak out a victory, man. We ain't blowing anyone out this year. If we could ever find a way to win this one, this would be so huge for the Giants as an organization. I know the Titans are head and shoulders better than we. I really don't. I don't think it's a terrible matchup because it's not a quarterback like an Aaron Rodgers or a Lamar Jackson or Justin Herbert or Joe Burrow or Josh Allen. God, is he freaking good or what? We're not going against one of those guys. Tannehill's a good quarterback. I mean, don't get me wrong. It's not like he's terrible, but he's not an elite guy. So if you can put him in third and long and make him beat you, I think that's the best way you're going to have an opportunity to win the game.
Yeah, you got to force them to throw the ball. We all know that, but like you said, it's much easier said than done. Giants fans now have been saying it for a few months. Everybody knows that when they go up against Derrick Henry, and we'll see. We'll see if they're up for the task. Obviously, no Martinez. Kalitro's now in the starting lineup, so we have a lot of question marks. Not just
Kalitro, Timon Fox, Jaheed Ward, all the Giants we thought would be starting.
So I think it's going to start up at the middle, though. The defensive line, Dexter Lawrence, going to be a big factor in this game, and
really big.
Have to find a way to get penetration up the middle and try to stop that run. Killy Man, thank you so much. This is Chris the Bad Dog, baby. Let's go. Giant season going. Killy Man, thanks so much for being here, man. Thank you for being a great supporter. And let's go, man. Big game coming up on Sunday. NY Giants 26. Thank you for being a member for 20 months. Stand up. Week 1 upon us. Let's get a W. I can't wait. We need the pass rush. Can't wait for you to play my hype up. Yeah, man, for sure. I'm going to be doing that tomorrow night. I'll have the hype up video. If you have a new one that you want me to play before the stream, definitely send it via email. But yeah, that's the plan tomorrow. So thank you so much for being here. And yeah, we're excited. We'll talk about the game all night for sure. Field some of your guys' questions. I know a lot of you guys are antsy going into the year. Donovan, what's going on, man? Giants have a better record than the Rams. This is true. And Bad Dog, going in, the Giants are undefeated.
Correct.
And the Titans are winless.
Correct. And we're not under 500. So we should be favored in this game. You know, it's funny, Chris. So I bet college football, right?
Yeah.
And I say this all the time. I'm so good. I shouldn't say I'm so good. I'm way better at college football. So I don't make big bets. I never make big, but I threw $50 on Georgia to cover against Oregon. They blow Oregon out. I throw $20 on FSU to win straight up against LSU. Now that was a crazy ending to the game, but I went $32 in that. So I do okay. College football. Thursday night, I tried my hand at Rams Bills. Yeah, that didn't work.
Oh, don't tell me you bet the Rams.
I took the Rams.
Oh, Bad Dog, you should have talked to me first. I
took the freaking Rams. And I suck at it. That's why I tell everybody when they ask me about NFL football, just do whatever. It does not matter what I say. Just bet the opposite. I'm good at college. I don't know why I'm good at college. I am so awful at betting the NFL. I'm not betting the NFL the rest of the year.
Knowing that you're awful with the NFL, if you were to put $100 on this game on Sunday, who would you bet?
Titans.
Maybe the Giants will win.
I would. They're favored by 5.5. I think what happens is this game is close.
Yeah.
I think it's 13-13, 14-13, something like that, you know. And Tennessee gets a late touchdown and wins by like a touchdown. They're favored by 5.5. So that's kind of the way I'm looking at it, which means the Titans will probably win like 20-16, and then they don't cover. And then that's usually the type of shit that happens to me. So, but yeah, I would take the Titans given the 5.5, just because I think they're going to win by like a touchdown. I don't think they're not blowing us out. I don't think they're blowing us out. I don't think this is going to be like 31 to 10.
Team that blows teams out, right?
Right.
So I agree. I think it'll be a pretty close game, but I have the same. I have by about a touchdown.
Yeah.
Richard, man, thank you very much. Oshane Jimenez comeback tour starts this Sunday. I hope you're right, but what is he coming back from, Bad Dog?
Being a disappointment for the last 3 years.
To have a comeback story, don't you have to be like successful at some point?
He's been hurt. I mean, I don't know, man. He's always shown flashes. He's had games where he's looked good, and then he just kind of like Lorenzo Carter used to do for us. They're very similar, but
for me, Carter, he showed a lot more flash.
Carter was a better player
than Jimenez,
but they're the same type of thing where they show these flashes and then it hurt, and they disappear. Then they have a good game, then they disappeared and it hurt. A good game, yeah.
I'm gonna tell you though, and I don't know which player Jimenez is gonna be matched up on. And we obviously are at a tremendous disadvantage playing our backup edge rushers. But if there is one spot on this Titans offense that we need to take advantage of, it's going to be that rookie right tackle. Petit Frere, I think it's pronounced, from Ohio State, 3rd-round pick. That's the weakness, I think, on this offense. The Giants have to find a way to do that. But in order to do that, first off, they got to stop the run.
Correct.
But that's got to be the spot on that offensive line that the New York Giants look to pick on. And we'll see if Wink's able to take advantage of it. So
yeah, I would think Wink would bring it over.
A rookie right tackle going up against a defense like Wink's, if you could get them in passing situations, I could see there being a bit of a confusion on that offensive line, and maybe the Giants could take advantage of that.
Yeah, I think Wink's going to have to overload that side of the line and go after him from there. I mean, it's a good idea, but then again, Tannehill's a mobile quarterback, so, you know, they're on Tennessee's side. Vrabel could have a lot of rollouts, you know, to his left to get away from the rookie right tackle. So, I mean, it'd be tougher because he's throwing across his body at that point. He's not a left tackle. So, you know, that might be a little bit more difficult, but Tannehill is a veteran, and he does know how to move around in the pocket. He can make plays with his legs. I think it's a very underestimated part of his game. And again, I'm not knocking Ryan Tannehill. I think Ryan Tannehill is a very good professional quarterback. He's just not an elite guy. I don't think he's a top 10 guy. I think he's closer between probably 12th and 15th. I know he did lead the league in passer rating one year, but it's not like he's throwing 45 touchdowns at 5,000. He's not, he's not
No,
Justin Herbert.
he's like Alex Smith.
He's He's efficient, and again, he's probably underrated in the mobility that he has. That's something the Giants got to look out for, because it's not like he's going to run. He's not Jalen Hurts. He's not going to run 15 times a game because it's a strong suit. But he is a guy that on 3rd and 4 can get a first down with his legs.
He's a former wide receiver.
Yeah, you got to look out for Tannehill. And I know, because years ago when he was on the Dolphins, Tannehill was always our ace in the hole for our fantasy quarterback, because it was like, listen, the Dolphins would be down 31-7 going to the 4th quarter, meanwhile by like Tannehill time, and he'd get like 140 passing yards, 25, 30 rushing yards in the 4th quarter, 2 touchdowns, like he got his points. They got killed, but he got his points.
No, so, he definitely has some mobility. He could run one.
Yeah, Tannehill's good. I mean, he's, like I said, he's not the guy that's going to be. He can make plays, but he's not the guy that's going to beat you if you can force him to get in those 3rd and longs. 3rd and 4. If he's 3rd and 2, 3rd and 4 all day, he'll kill us. If he's 3rd and 9 all day, no, he won't.
I hope not, man. Bill, man, thank you so much, man, for all the incredible generosity you always show during the live streams, man. He says, "Sup, boys? Leo and Dex have a big game, and we have a decent shot." Listen, I agree. That's got if we're going to have a decent shot on the defensive end, those 2 guys have to eat. They have to take advantage of the offensive line of the Tennessee Titans. It's going to start up front for the Giants on defense in this game. We all know it. I mean, it's obvious. That's where it starts. We're going to overload the box, I think. That's the only way I could see us stopping Henry, or at least limiting Henry. We're not going to stop him. But those 2 guys, if we're going to do a good job against Henry, they're going to be a big part of it. And on the offensive side of the ball, our best defense in this game is probably going to be the offense if we can pick up their downs. Yeah. We cannot get killed in the time of possession. That's what this team does well. Last year, they were 2nd in the league in time of possession. They chew up the clock, and they're going to beat you down in the 4th quarter. They're a very physical football team. Yep. They also only surrendered, I think, a first down 37% of the time last year on 3rd down, which was, I think, 2nd or 4th best. I don't remember the National Football League. So that's what they're good at. So the Giants are going to have to control the clock in some capacity. They can't get destroyed in the time of possession, and they have to do a good job on 3rd down. So we'll see. I'm really excited about the offense. We'll talk a lot more about that throughout the stream for sure, and what they can bring to the table. But Bill, man, thank you so much, man. I appreciate it. He said, NY Giants 26, man, thank you very much. Yup, 2 more coming tomorrow. Awesome, man. Send it to me in the email. You didn't have to donate, man. Send it to me in the email. And yeah, man, just let me know which one you want me to play, and I'll play it before the stream.
The Giants offense, it's a lot like the Titans offense. You put Daniel Jones in 3rd and 9, he's going to have a long day. You get Daniel Jones in 3rd and 2, 3rd and 4, Daniel Jones can eat. So it's going to be up to that offensive line, which is a major question mark. There's no question. You got a rookie right tackle yourself. We do. Now, granted, he's not a 3rd round pick. Right. He's a rookie right tackle. Our interior line is beat up, mishmashed, and inexperienced working together. We don't know what the hell that is. So it might be a long day for Saquon Barkley, but hopefully they can give Saquon Barkley enough holes and he can get some yardage, 2nd and 7, 3rd and 3, that type of thing. We can work with that. I also think that you're going to see Kafka have a quick pass. I mean, that's what I would expect.
That's what it's
bubble screens, quick slants, screens to Saquon, those type of things. Maybe an extension of the run. But you get Daniel Jones in 3rd and 3, Daniel Jones can beat you with his legs. Daniel Jones can beat you with his arm. When it's not an obvious passing situation where the defense can just pin their ears back and go after Daniel Jones, I think he can be effective. But if it's 3rd and 11 and we ain't running, they can just pin their ears and go back after him, and the line's got to pick up a blitz and A-gap blitzes and stunts and all. They're in trouble. Yeah. So it's like you said, the time possession's big. And we have to win at the line of scrimmage on both sides of the ball. That's really what it is. We have to win the line of scrimmage against Derrick Henry. And we have to win the line of scrimmage for Saquon Barkley. Again, he doesn't need to have a 75-yard touchdown run. That'd be great. But he needs to get those hard-earned 3 and 4 yards up the gut.
That won't be easy.
Right. That won't be easy, but that's the way you wear him down. Body blows. And we got to find a way to do it. And like I said, if we can't run, you might just see those quick outlet passes to him as an extension of the running game. But it's going to be, I'm curious to see how Kafka is going to call this offense. We have no clue.
That's what I'm most excited about, is to see how they game plan against this Titans defense. Because I'm going to tell you right now, we're not going to be able to run the ball. Like, Barkley may break a couple of runs, but this Titans defense is arguably the best run defense in the National Football League last year. So it's not going to be easy. So they're going to have to get creative. I think they're going to feature the RPO a bit in this game as well. They're going to have to get creative in the run game. I don't see this being a game where Barkley could just accrue 5-yard run after 5-yard run after 5-yard run. I think they're going to have to get creative, open up the offense. And Jones is going to have to win this game, in my opinion. Donovan, man, thank you very much. Also a better place, $1,000 on the Giants to win the Super Bowl. Baddog, was that you?
I don't have $1,000. But no.
Who in the chat bet $1,000 on the New York Giants?
I know. I saw that on Twitter somewhere that the guy plays $1,000. They're like $100. It'd pay like $10,100 if he won it or something, or maybe it was $101,000. It was a lot of money. These guys are crazy. Like I said, I place a freaking $20 bet. That's a lot for me. That shows you how confident I was in Georgia to start the year with a $50 bet. I don't ever do that. I just had a lot of Georgia's going to be my cash cow this year. Ohio State was a couple years ago. It's going to be Georgia this year.
Oh, Georgia's phenomenal, man. Yeah. And Ryan says, Baddog, please put money on the Titans. I picked the Titans in my survivor pools because I also suck at betting. So we'll reverse jinx. I like it, Ryan. It's a good idea.
Maybe I'm not betting NFL anymore, Ryan. I suck at it. I was like, you know what? I'm ahead like $80 already. I said, let me just throw $10. All it was $10. Let me throw $10 on it. Make it interesting.
Yeah.
I took the Rams to win straight up. I was like, give me the money. That's 2.5. I'm like, what the hell's the difference at this point? Give me the money line. Suck.
Yeah, the reason I didn't like the Rams, I think the Bills are better. The Bills are my Super Bowl pick this year, but I didn't think they were going to get blown out the way that they did. But the reason I didn't like the Rams in that game last night is Stafford hasn't played all preseason. They said he's been banged up with the elbow. And Buffalo's defense looked much better than I thought they would. I mean, their pass rush was phenomenal. But Stafford, you could tell, was not himself.
He wasn't.
Well down the field. He was not himself.
I thought the Rams defense would be a little bit better, too. I didn't think Jalen Ramsey would get toasted for a perfect quarterback rating against him.
Dude.
Oh, he got toasted.
Josh Allen torched his ass. It was bad start to finish for him. Goblins, man, thank you for being a member for 9 months. Says, working on my cousin's boiler, bleeding out the backboards right now. You guys are good company for free work, 10 p.m. at night. Well, we appreciate it, Goblins, man.
Appreciate you, buddy.
And thank you for tuning in, and best of luck with that. And I just want to make sure I didn't miss anybody. I think Luis was next. Yep. Luis, man, thank you very much, man. Sup, my guys, almost there to Giants football. Thanks for helping us get through the offseason. Hear about Lamar's contract issues, same as Daniel Jones. Same boat as Daniel Jones. Yeah, I heard about the contract issue that basically they couldn't come to a common agreement before the year started on a contract extension for Lamar Jackson. And Jackson's basically playing a prove-it year. He's going out there, and it's a risky proposition. It's much like Aaron Judge this year with the New York Yankees, right? The Yankees weren't willing to give him the money that he wanted. He went out there and he proved them wrong. But with football, it's much different because obviously you could have a bad injury, right? In football more so than any other sport. Yeah. So he's gambling, right? I mean, especially a quarterback that puts his body on the line the way that he does. But if he has a big year, I think in the end the Ravens sign him if he stays healthy this year and has a big year. But they probably want to make sure he can stay healthy. It's bad, though. Here's what I'm going to say. For everybody that has a pipe dream about Lamar Jackson, I see people saying it on Twitter and yada, yada, yada. Tell me, Bad Dog, off the top of your head, in the history of football, a quarterback at his age that's been as successful as he has. And granted, he's not your prototypical quarterback, right? He's as much a running back as he is a quarterback. But tell me a quarterback at 25, 26 years old that's ever hit the open market, that's had the success that he has, not named Deshaun Watson.
I don't know if there is one that's been successful. I hit the open market. He's not going anywhere. They'll figure it out.
Unless he gets hurt. But if he gets hurt, we don't want him.
Right. I mean, Dak Prescott did the same thing. He bet on himself, and he did just fine. So I think Lamar Jackson's a better quarterback than Dak Prescott. But, yeah, I mean, these guys want their money. I don't blame them. In the NFL, you only get a couple of contracts. With Aaron Judge, this is going to be his last big one. Aaron Judge isn't 25. He's not Juan Soto. He's not looking at 2 7-year deals that could give that guy, $1 billion. So he's going to get paid. The Yankees going to pay him. Somebody's going to pay him. So he's probably going to get $450 million.
Yankees are going to pay him.
We'll see. I don't know. He might not want to come back here. What the hell would he come back here for? Without Aaron Judge, the Yankees are absolute squat. They're in last place without him.
That's true.
So, but they're nowhere without him. And I knew as soon as Aaron Hicks, even when he succeeds, he fails. Dude hits a freaking ball last night. I'm sitting there saying, stay at first. Stay at first. Don't go to second. Because as soon as he goes to second, you took the bat right out of Aaron Judge's hand. Judge's run means nothing. You're going to walk him. And Glaber, who is complete ass, strikes out with the base loaded. And there goes the Yankees' opportunity. And, of course, Isaiah Connor for left, all three of his homers hitting cleanup. I mean, that's another great move by Aaron, but I'm not going to turn this into a Yankee thing. I have plenty of time to rant on the Yankees, which we'll probably do tomorrow. It just pissed me off.
Yeah, I don't, but Mets are pissing me off too. They lost to the Marlins again tonight. Adam, man, thank you very much, man. Sup, fellas? You see the Bills game? I wonder what it feels like to have a quarterback like that. Sheesh. Adam, I couldn't tell you because, in my opinion, and I've said this, you could go. I've been consistent with this. You go back 2 years ago, I have always been in awe of Josh Allen, and I am still in awe of Josh Allen. Every time I watch the guy play, I think he is one of the 3 or 4 most talented, naturally talented quarterbacks I've ever seen. And I've been watching football for 30 years. I think he is that talented in terms of just pure raw ability. So, Adam, for everybody that thinks the Giants will just be able to draft the next Josh Allens don't grow on trees. But you saw it last night. The guy threw 2 picks. One was a perfect throw right off the wide receiver's hands. The other was a bad throw. It didn't matter. It's like he just brushed it off. The guy's a freak. And I'm jealous of the Buffalo Bills with their quarterback.
Well, if we would have waited another year, we could have had our own Josh Allen. His name is Justin Herbert. He plays in Los Angeles.
Yes, he's damn good.
That was the guy Chris and I wanted the first time we started doing this show.
He's damn
Justin
good.
Herbert. That was our guy, and didn't happen. I was not a big Josh Allen fan when he came out of college. I actually didn't think I definitely didn't think he'd be like this. I didn't think he'd be good. I thought he was too inaccurate. Whatever they did worked on his mechanics, got to be more accurate. I always knew he was a great athlete, but I'm like, without accuracy, it doesn't matter. Colin Kaepernick was a great athlete, great arm, couldn't read defenses and was completely inaccurate down the field. He just wasn't a very good quarterback once they got film on him. It's like when they got film on Josh Allen, he's the one that made the adjustment, became the elite quarterback that he is. I mean, he might be the best quarterback in the NFL. So I hate that comparison. I hate when people talk about Daniel Jones and Josh Allen. I understand the connection. I get that Giants fans want Daniel Jones to be Josh Allen. I get that in third year they went out and got Stephon Diggs. I get in the third year that we went out and got Kenny Galladay. I get that Brian Daboll was the offensive coordinator for Josh Allen, and that Joe Shane had a part in drafting Josh. I get all that. That doesn't make Daniel Jones Josh Allen. Daniel Jones needs to be Daniel Jones. Hopefully he's the best version of Daniel Jones he can be. That's what we need. But that Josh Allen kid is insane.
Yeah, and the thing that really popped out to me last night is I almost, not that I'm saying he's him. Tom Brady's the greatest quarterback of all time, but just the way that he operated, the way that he knew exactly what the defense was going to do every play, he looks completely different than he did 2 years ago. Like in terms of his ability, pre-snap reads, like now you're coupling him being able to do that with his raw natural ability, and the sky's the limit for Josh Allen.
Yeah,
he has definitely graduated to another level of a quarterback. Dan, man, thank you very much, man. Baddog and Chris, the 2 goats. Let's go Giants. Also, Baddog, our Yankees continue to choke. And Chris, have you gotten a chance to watch it? I have not. We were just talking about that right before we went live. The new season came out on Netflix. Baddog was actually watching a couple of episodes.
Yeah, I think I got to do four episodes so far, and I'll finish them off tomorrow. My wife and I watch that.
Yeah, so that's definitely the next thing I'm going to be watching. I'll definitely probably start binging that tomorrow. So I'm a big fan of Cobra Kai as well. So looking forward to that, and we'll see. But yeah, thank you very much. Donnie says, if our offense really elevates and becomes a top 10-0, is our defense good enough to win 11 games? Hypotheticals. Let's go, G-Man. Y'all are the best. Okay, so if our offense is a top 10 offense this year, are we good enough to win 10 or 11 games?
Yeah.
I will say yeah, because of our schedule. Yeah.
Definitely. I think the offense is the biggest question. I think once our players are healthy on defense, when we get Thibodeau and Azeez Ojulari back, I think the defense will be fine. Secondary is a question, but I think
linebackers is a question too.
Yeah, I understand linebackers are questions, but I think the front seven will be good enough.
Yeah.
To to keep us in games. It's that offense needs to hold on to the ball. The offense needs to end drives with touchdowns and not field goals. If we're a top 10 offense, I think the defense will definitely be good enough against teams like Jacksonville and Carolina and Detroit, Houston. Like, I think we're good enough to beat those if our offense is a top 10 offense. It means they'd be scoring about 27, 28 points a game. I think if we score 27 points a game, we're going to win.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think we're going to have a top 10 offense.
No, me neither, but he said hypothetical, and that's,
based off the context of the question, if we did have a top 10 offense, could we win 10 games? Yeah. Yes.
Could we? I think we will.
Yeah. So, but you look around the league, there's a lot of good offenses. So it would be very hard for the New York. I mean, just in the AFC West alone, look at all the offenses there: the Broncos, the Raiders, the Chargers. I mean, the NFC West. I mean, you got obviously the Rams. I know they didn't look great last night, but they got a good offense. You got the Bucs. You got the Cardinals. You got the Buffalo Bills. Like there are so many really good offenses. So that's
the Ravens, the Packers, the Bucs.
That's asking a lot, man.
Yeah.
And Ayub, man, thank you very much. I don't care about this season. Go get me AR-15. He's special.
I'm pretty sure they play Kentucky this week, don't they?
They do. Yeah, tomorrow they're playing.
So that's what I'm watching.
Yeah, that Will Levis.
It's SEC football, but you got AR-15, Will Levis.
Yeah, definitely have my eyes go to it. I do care about this season. And we'll see at the end of the year how Jones does, how the team does, where we're picking in the draft, how these quarterbacks look at college. But I was a fan, at least, of the potential of Anthony Richardson before the college year started, and I'm still a fan. I think he looked good in his first game. He's still got a lot to work on and grow with, but the raw physical talent is there. And when you're the New York Giants and you're Joe Schoen and you came from Buffalo, I think it's just natural for fans to think if we are going to be taking a quarterback, which we don't know where we're going to be picking, he would be the type of guy we'd be looking at. Based off of what the Bills did with Josh Allen. So I understand fans that are
me. Number one, I'm not a fan. Anthony Richardson has to prove it to me. I mean, I'm after one game, and I don't think he was fantastic by any stretch of the imagination. He's got a lot more. But I don't like Florida quarterbacps. I don't like that. I don't like quarterbacks that come from Florida. I don't like quarterbacks that come from Ohio State. So we'll see. I'm hoping if the Giants do that one of these guys proves me wrong. But obviously, that is definitely a guy the Giants have their eye on. So will I. And it's not that Anthony Richardson can't. I mean, Anthony Richardson's going to have to prove it. The SEC is no joke. So you're going to play a very tough schedule. So if he balls out in the SEC, then he's legitimate. I mean, Bryce Young did. So, then again, a lot of quarterbacks that come out of Alabama aren't very good either. So you can take that out as
hopefully one of them.
Even Tua Tabaga ain't really that good. So there you go.
I am not a college guy. If the guy could play, he could play. And I hope that Joe Schoen, if we do go that route and take a quarterback, picks the right one, regardless of what school he goes to. It's a very talented class, and we'll worry about that at a season's end.
I trust Joe Schoen more than I would trust Dave Gettleman.
I agree with that. Nader, he says they need to let Quincy Roche off the practice squad and into the starting lineup at least for week one. From what I heard, I was talking to Patricia Traina today, at least on her channel, Nader, and she was under the assumption that they are going to bring him up, but that remains to be seen. I guess they haven't officially done it, but once they rule these guys out, which they haven't done yet, they're doubtful. I would only assume that Quincy Roche probably will get the nod. I don't think he'll be in the starting lineup, but I think he will be on the 53-man roster, be active for week one. That's just my guess, but I would expect him to be active for week one later. But thank you, man. I appreciate it. Bill, man, thank you so much, man. He says, boys, please predict the season performance of each of our wide receivers. Assume no injuries. Okay. All right, Baddog. So, all right, what receivers? We're not going to do Slayton. We're not going to go that deep. We'll do the top 4 receivers, and we'll assume, which will not happen, that all of them stay completely healthy. So, based off a 17-game projection, which we'll be lucky if 2 of them stay healthy all year, but if they all stay healthy, give me your projections for Kenny Golladay, Kadarius Toney, Wan'Dale Robinson, and Sterling Shepard.
I mean, Kadarius Toney, if he's healthy, I feel like he'd have the most productive season. I could see him having 70 or 80 catches for about 1,000 yards and 7 touchdowns. I think he's going to be the go-to guy. You're going to want to get the ball out of Daniel Jones's hands. Kadarius Toney's a slot guy, so get him the ball in space and see what he can do. Kenny Golladay will have less receptions. I could see Kenny Golladay having 40, 45 receptions, 600 to 750 yards, 3 touchdowns. I don't think Daniel Jones and Kenny Golladay have a good rapport at all. I haven't seen anything there. Last year, I haven't seen anything in training camp. This year makes me think that they're going to connect it all. Sterling Shepard, if he's healthy, I think it's a typical Shep year. I think he's another guy, 60 to 70 receptions. He'll have less yardage than Kadarius Toney because he's not a guy that makes a lot of people miss in the open field. but I could see him having 70 catches for 800 yards, something like that, averaging 11 yards a catch, maybe 10 yards a catch, 6 touchdowns. Wan'Dale Robinson, I really don't know. I couldn't give you a prediction. I don't know what he is. I don't know how they're going to use him. I don't know when he's going to be on the field. So it'd be really difficult to give any kind of numbers on Wan'Dale Robinson. I'm just going by what the other guys did, in their Giants career. And actually, Kadarius Toney didn't really have a Giants career either. I think I think he would have the most productive year of all the receivers if all things are equal and they're all healthy. But Wan'Dale, I have no clue.
Yeah,
I really don't know what to expect from him or how they're going to use him.
Yeah, my answer is it's impossible to do these projections, but I will do them because, like I said, if Shepard goes down, obviously the projections for all these guys go up because they're going to be utilized more. Or if Galladay goes, whatever. But if they all stay completely healthy, I agree with you. I think Toney will. I think Barkley, I'm going to continue to say it, may lead this team in catches. I think Barkley's going to be used a lot in the passing game. He's not a receiver,
should be.
So I'm not going to do his projection. But just the wide receivers, I think Toney is the guy that benefits most from this new scheme if he could stay on the football field.
Yeah.
He fits this scheme incredibly well, in my opinion.
I
think he is the biggest beneficiary from the new offensive play call. I also think he's just our most naturally gifted and talented wide receiver.
Yes. I don't think there's any question.
His elusiveness, his speed, his route running ability. So if he can stay on the field, I agree with you. I think Toney's in for a 1,000-yard season. I think we're going to throw the ball a lot. And I think Toney's going to benefit because of it. So I agree with you on that. Wan'Dale, like you said, it's nearly impossible to project his statistics. I do think he's going to be a nice piece to have regardless because I think he's going to be a guy, the way that the New York Giants are going to use him, that the opposing defenses are going to have to account for. Even if he doesn't put up great stats, you're going to move him all around. He's going to be a guy that they're going to have to account for, and he may create mismatch opportunities for other receivers in this core. It's very hard for me to project, though, but I do think he's going to be used. And I'll go about 500 yards for Wan'Dale. 500. I'll go 40 catches, 500 yards. Maybe he rushes for 150, 200. I think they'll have a role for him in the backfield as well. I was at a lot of the practices, and they were using him in that capacity. Of course, we didn't see that so much in the preseason game. They did use him on one end around, but I think he'll be a nice chess piece for the Giants. I don't think he's going to have an unbelievable statistical year. Galladay is an interesting one for me because he is so hard for me to predict because I do not think he fits this scheme. But at the same time, I do think that Daboll is smart enough to find a role for him, and Kafka is smart enough to find a role for him from within this offense. If he stays completely healthy, I think he has a better year than last year, which is not saying much.
Yeah, I feel better, but not great.
Yeah,
he'll have a touchdown this year, though.
Yeah, I'll go 750 yards and 4 or 5 touchdowns for Galladay if he stays completely healthy. And Shep, like you said, Shep. If he's out there, he's going to be a guy with sturdy hands. He's a good route runner. He's a tough guy. He's good for about 65, 70 catches and around 750 to 800 yards. So that's kind of how I'd see it. But I think Barkley, I'm going to continue to say it. If he stays on the field, he's going to be a big, big weapon in the passing game this year. Mm-hmm. Gavin, man, thank you very much, man. Giants stopped the run and 3 touchdowns from DJ 8 and a stunner. I mean, here's what I'm going to say. I'm not going to say 3 touchdowns from Daniel Jones. I do think Daniel Jones is going to have a good statistical game week 1. I really do because I think they're going to stop the run. But if there is one weakness to this Tennessee Titans defense, it is their corner play. Their corner play is not good. They're starting a rookie second-round corner. Opposite him, their other corner is not very good either. So I could see Daniel Jones, if our offensive line could play okay, having a pretty good game this Sunday. I'll say that. I'm not going to say 3 touchdowns, but I think he could have a good game. I will say that. And I am very intrigued to see how they utilize him in the passing game this week for sure. So I wouldn't be shocked if Jones has a good game this week. I really wouldn't.
If Daniel Jones has 3 touchdowns, we win.
I think I agree with that, but I'm not going to predict that.
I'm not predicting it either, but yeah. I hope that happens.
Yeah, I think I agree with that. If he throws,
I got my freaking fantastic bottle of scotch already, ready to go. Gavin's a really nice bottle of scotch. Just bought that thing Wednesday.
I love these people. Gavin says Christmas to positive. I think we're going to lose between 7 and 14 points. So if that's positive to you, I guess that's positive. I think based off the matchup, it lends itself to a better passing performance for the offense than running. I don't think we're going to do
what it is. I just don't understand. You give your opinion. It's like you can't have It's just not allowed. Like, why are you not allowed to voice displeasure
and what's funny is,
on YouTube? I don't understand. Like, why are you not allowed to do that?
You get just as many Mr. Negative comments. You know how many Mr. Negative comments I got from my prediction video when I said they're going to lose?
I just don't understand. I don't understand why people are like, oh, stop being negative. Well, you're not allowed to voice displeasure. You're freaking human, aren't you? Shit.
You can't.
We all have our emotions, man. Just like I read somebody in the chat says, stop drinking that garbage, Baddog. Why are people so concerned about what I drink? You are not in my shape. Please do not insult me. Don't tell me what to put in my body. I don't understand. I don't understand why people are so worried about it. When you look like this, then you can tell me what to put in my body. If you're a trainer, a nutritionist, bodybuilder, fine. Greg Doucette, Noel Deitzel, bodybuilders live on this. So I will take their advice over some dude in the chat and it's telling me, Baddog, that's bad for you. I think I know what I'm doing. I've done this a long time.
And John 26 says, not sold on Van Dyke or Will. Listen, I know Van Dyke had a huge game last week, but wasn't it against like I didn't see it. It was like against like basically like a D2 school, wasn't it? It was like
I'm not sold on any of them yet.
Yeah, it's week one. Like let's
Bryce Young. I'm sold on Bryce Young.
He's good. He's good.
I'm sold on him.
But yeah, we'll see Levis this week, man, when he goes up against Florida.
I sure.
Bearman. What is that?
Talking to myself.
Bearman, thank you very much, man. He says, how much better do you think we are going to be with Daboll than Judge calling plays? Well, Daboll's not calling the plays, actually. Kafka's going to be calling the plays. But obviously, Daboll heavily involved in the offense. What another interesting tidbit this year, Baddog, our offensive coordinator for the first time in forever is actually going to be up in the booth. He's not going to be on the field. Yeah. So that's different. He gets a different perspective. I don't think he's going to be calling the plays. I could be wrong on that, but he's going to be up in the booth. So that's a little bit different. But Kafka's actually the play caller. Decision-wise, do you think it will make a big difference, or do you think the lack of talent? I think it is going to make a big difference. What's your definition of big difference, Bear? I'm not telling you we're going to be the Kansas City Chiefs, but I'm also telling you that we're not going to be the 1927 Bears. Like, I think we're going to have a decent offense, which is a huge upgrade. We obviously still need improvements from within this roster, both on the offensive and defensive side of the ball. But do I think the scheme is going to make a difference? Yes. I think we will be a better offense this year. And the addition of Evan Neal as the season gets going is going to help as well. You're talking about going from Nate Solder to Evan Neal. Like, if Evan Neal is even half of what we think he could be halfway through the year, this offensive line will look a lot better on that right side. So, I think the offensive play calling will make a difference for sure. How big of a difference that remains to be seen. But I think it'll make a noticeable difference. Let's put it that way, Baddog, this year.
It'll be different, but yeah, we still have the Gettleman hangover. The lack of talent, definitely. We haven't improved our talent. We improved our coaching staff. I mean, right tackle is improved.
I think same player, but and maybe I'll be wrong. I think Barkley is an improvement this year.
He probably is, but at the same time, the offensive line's a major question mark. The wide receivers are what they are. You know, there's nobody really that jumps off the page. And again, Kadarius Toney needs to stay healthy and play all 17 games and be out there most of the time. But other than that, we don't have a dynamic guy. Galley is not dynamic. He's a guy that should be able to win the 50-50 ball. Sterling Shepard's a nice possession receiver. We don't know what Wandale is. Darius Slayton is got some good speed. Can he hold on to the ball? Can he even get on the field? The lack of talent's going to hurt, but I definitely think the play calling will make Daniel Jones a lot better. I think that the pre-snap movement will certainly confuse some defenses. The one thing, again, I don't know how this is going to translate to the regular season, but Howard Cross mentioned it when I was unable to get the Jets-Giants up here, and I had to listen to it. He made a great point that when they were getting out of the huddle in the preseason, they were getting out of the huddle with 20 seconds to go on the play clock. And as Giants fans, we know how many times did Daniel Jones run up to the line with 6, 7, 8 seconds. How can you change blocking schemes? How can you move players around? How can you audible with 8 seconds to go? You got to get the ball. And how many times do you have to take a timeout or we took a delay a game because the play clock ran out? So getting Daniel Jones at a line of scrimmage early in the play clock and allowing him to say, hey, there's the mic. Blitz is coming over here. Move over here. Change the play. Do this. And allowing him to make some adjustments, I think that will help Daniel Jones immensely as well, because he's not going to be under such duress trying to get the playoff. So we'll see if that happens in the regular season. But that was a really good observation by Howard Cross. It's something I certainly didn't notice, but it makes a lot of sense. And I feel like a lot of times if you're off, haste makes waste, man. So if you're hurried on offense and you don't even have the play in or whatever, it's gonna screw you up.
Think about Eli, man. Back in Eli's day, when was he at his best? When he wasn't thinking, he was just going, right? 2-minute drill, just hurry up offense. And that's one thing that you really saw in the second preseason game. They didn't even huddle for the most part when Daniel Jones was out on the field. They really had to hurry up offense.
And he played great in the second game.
He did.
I know his backups, but he was fantastic.
Yeah, so I'm really excited. I'm really excited to see all the different intricacies of the offense this year.
Yeah.
Rick's man, thank you very much, man. We have a good team. I just don't think DJ improves. Yes, we screwed up DJ, but at the same time, he just makes the team worse. I can name 7 backups over DJ. Hey, that's your opinion, Rickson, and I'm not, I hope you're wrong. I hope DJ proves you're wrong this year. The stats aren't there, and DJ's he's got to produce this year. He has to take a major leap up this year, and if he doesn't, he will be replaced. I do not think we have a good team. Quarterback aside, I really don't, and I pray I'm wrong. Baddog, let's be honest with ourselves. Outside of Edge, when healthy, and Kayvon Thibodeau's still a question mark. I think he's going to be great, but still a question mark. But I'll say that's an above-average unit. And the tackle unit, which I think we have to project is going to be an above-average unit with Andrew Thomas and Evan Neal, at least long-term for sure. Where are we above average? Barkley. Wide receiver's not above average.
No.
Tight end's not above average.
Secondary's not above average.
Tight end.
McKinney is the talent.
But the secondary as a whole is well below.
No, secondary is below average.
But tight end
linebackers are way below average.
Linebackers way below average. Defensive line's good.
Yeah.
But I do not think we're a good football team.
No, Dave Gettleman.
We still have a lot of growing to do.
We got a lot of Gettleman's guys here that we have to, that Shane's gonna have to replace. It's why this is a rebuild. You're rebuilding, you're gonna get rid of the pieces that don't fit here. He's gonna bring in his own team. And I'm 98% sure that that's going to include the quarterback next year. It's not their guy. No allegiance. They want to bring in their guy. So unless Daniel Jones completely wows them, we go to the playoffs and they say, okay, Daniel, you've earned a tag. I don't see that. But I'm not going to say that this is all Daniel Jones' fault. I know a lot of people think I just hate Daniel Jones, but I've said time and time again, the Giants did him no favors. Is he a great quarterback? No, it's not because he physically can't do it mentally. That's all. Listen, that's all it takes. If Brian Daboll and Mike Kafka can get Daniel Jones to be confident, get rid of the ball quick, and he can learn pocket awareness and pocket presence, because he did look good against Cincinnati. Again, his backups. But if he can learn to do that, he can be a good quarterback. I'm not going to say he's going to be Justin Herbert or Josh Allen, but he can be top 15, in my opinion. He's got the physical tools, so he's got half of it. He's got to feel that rush. He's got to know when to step up in the pocket, roll out of the pocket, and or throw the ball away. Those are things he has to learn, and hopefully he does that this year.
And Josh says, I think regardless of record, Joe gets his guy, Anthony Richardson. It's way too hard to project, Josh. I'm not even going to speculate after 1 week. If Anthony Richardson continues to impress, if he goes number 1 and the Giants are picking 17, you're not going to be able to trade up for him. Yeah. So, we're not going to know until after the year where these guys project, after the combine. We'll see. And that's something I'll worry about in the offseason. Right now, I'm not really thinking about it. I'm definitely going to watch these guys because I have to be open to the possibility of the New York Giants drafting a quarterback. It's certainly possible, especially when you're bringing a new GM. You didn't extend Daniel Jones on the 5th-year option, but I'm going to look at Jones this year. I'm going to look at the quarterbacks in college this year. I'm going to see where the Giants are picking and go from there. But I understand why people think we could be interested in AR-15, but we don't even know where the guy's going to be going in the draft. It's just way too early to speculate in terms of which.
I have no idea how he's going to do this year.
You don't know. Nobody thought Joe Burrow would be the number 1 pick. He ended up being the number 1 pick. Nobody ever thought Baker Mayfield would be the number 1 overall pick. If this guy goes out there and lights the world on fire, like a lot of Giants fans seem to think he will, with his physical upside, it's not like the Giants are the only team that looks at Josh Allen and looks at the tools that says we could morph this guy into something great. So we don't know. Let's let the season play out. Let's let the college season play out, and let's see where these guys are projected to go and start to project off of that. Mm-hmm. Dashy, man, thank you very much, man. Chris of the Bad Dog, I think the game between the Steelers and the Bengals will get heated. Chippy and bad blood will spill into Cincinnati.
Yeah, it's a rivalry game.
That's gonna. That's, I think
Cincinnati should kick their ass, though.
they should, but I could see that being a low-scoring game because the Steelers do have a good defense. I could see that being like he said, a chippy, dirty, low-scoring game. But I do like the Bengals to win.
I think the Bengals win that like 24-10.
Yeah, you like them, but you like them by that much.
Yeah, I do. Mitch Trubisky, man.
It is Mitch Trubisky.
Joe Mixon.
I always give the Steelers more respect than I should.
And with good reason, but
I just
think Cincinnati's talent is well, when I did that show,
talent-wise, they're not close.
When I did that show with 5-point vids and urinating Tree is a Steelers fan. He even said their offensive line is horrible.
Oh, the Steelers' offensive line is a big weakness.
So if Najee Harris can't run and you're forcing Trubisky to pass, Steelers will still find a way to win 9 games. It don't matter. But they're not good enough to beat Cincinnati, not in my opinion.
No, I agree. I think Cincinnati wins, but I think it's going to be closer than you think. But Cincinnati wins. I agree with you on Cincinnati.
I think and again, they probably will be closer because I suck at betting the NFL. So there you go. Never right.
Donovan, man, he says we'll still be talking about DJ 10 years from now, regardless of what happens. No chance.
We're done talking about him after
this year. Listen, I hope we are, Donovan. That means he becomes a great quarterback. So in 10 years, unless Daniel Jones is on the Giants, nobody's going to be talking about him. So the only way we're talking about him in 10 years is if he becomes the next franchise quarterback for the New York Giants, which would be a good thing for everybody. So I hope we're still talking about him in 10 years, Donovan.
Yeah, I don't see it, though.
No, I'm not predicting it either. Dire Giants fan, he says, to be fair, what we've seen from DJ, there's a good chance he doesn't warrant any kind of extension. Hopefully I'm wrong. Already started building the lines. Yeah, I mean, we'll find out this year. I mean, that's all I could say. Week 1, it starts, and we have 17 games for our head coach and general manager looking at Daniel Jones and see what he could do. If you're asking me for a crystal ball and asking me what I think is going to happen, I think we're drafting a quarterback next year. Yeah. But I've been wrong several times before. So, I'm going to let the season play out and see how the kid does and see how the Giants feel about him. The obvious reason behind me thinking that we're going to draft a quarterback, we didn't extend Daniel Jones, and Joe Shane had nothing to do with him being here. And it's a rich quarterback draft class next year. I'm going to continue to say it. The only way Daniel Jones is back next year, Giants have to have a good year. Not just him. The team has to have a good year. They got to win football games. Jones has to put them in a position not to be able to draft a quarterback next year.
Correct.
That means we got to win games.
Yep.
So we got to win games. You got to win 9-10 games in my opinion, for Dan Jones to be back. And we'll see if he could do it. Here's the other thing I'm going to say. Regardless of the talent around him, which I definitely think has been poor since he's been here, and I definitely think, as I just said, needs more upgrades. We are far from a finished product as a team. If he can't win 8 or 9 games against this schedule this year, why in the world would you ever extend him?
Right.
Look at the schedule we're playing. Why in the world would you commit $35, $40 million? I don't care if he throws 30, 32 touchdowns. Why would you commit that kind of money when you can reset the rookie clock if Dan Jones can't win 8 or 9 games against this schedule this year?
Yeah, think about it. 30 touchdowns isn't even 2 touchdowns a game.
He's got to win
touchdowns a game. 30 touchdowns. It's 17 games. It's not even 2 touchdowns a game.
He's got to win games. And we'll see if he can do it this year. Chris, man, thank you very much. He says, call me a homer, but I think we have a lot of decent players. Not great, but serviceable, barring injury. I think our ceiling is 10 to 11 wins. I don't think you're crazy if you think 10 wins is the ceiling based on our schedule. If everything breaks right, I'm not going to predict it, but we're talking ceiling. We're talking best case scenario. But I don't think the best case scenario is going to happen because it never does. But I hope it does. I hope everything breaks right. Rob Bell says, thoughts on no more shift and a pitch clock? Yeah, that came out today in Major League Baseball that they already had a pitch clock. It was
they were talking about pitch clock a long time ago.
Yeah, but they shortened it now. So now next year the pitch clock's going to be 15 seconds and 20 seconds from the stretch. I'm not sure what the pitch clock is right now, but it's shortened. I know that next year, and they outlawed the shift. Listen, I understand it. You're trying to quicken the game, right? But the shift, I'm completely for getting rid of. I was never a big fan of the shift. I don't know what Bad Dog's opinion is on that, but I'm a fan of getting rid of the shift.
Honestly, the pitch clock thing's stupid to me. I don't care how long a game of baseball takes. That's the beauty of baseball. There is no clock. That's one of the things about it that's great. You can't just run to 4 corners, run out the clock. You got to get all the outs. I don't give a damn how long it takes to play baseball. I'm a Yankee fan. I'm used to them playing 3.5, 4-hour games. As far as a shift goes, wasn't against the rules. I had no problem with it. You're a Major League Baseball player. Hit it against the shift. they're giving you a damn base hit. Take it. Change your approach. So the shift don't bother me. They shifted on Ted Williams. The dude still hit 400. So it can be done. They just choose not to change their approach. There's a lot of stubborn major league ball players that just everybody pays because of power. So everybody tries to hit home runs. No matter if you hit 197. If you hit 197 and you have 32 homers, you're going to get paid. It's so stupid. So it don't even matter. But batting averages will go up again, which would be nice because I'm sick and tired of watching guys hit 210. I can tell you that. It's boring.
Yeah.
Boring. So maybe it'll be better for the game. But like I said, I think if you're a major league player and someone's giving you a hit, just slap the ball the other way and they'll stop shifting. They don't shift on every ball player.
No, Jeff McNeil's taking advantage of it all year this year for the
Aaron
Mets.
Judge, they don't shift on Aaron Judge.
Yeah.
He's hitting 300.
But I'm glad that I personally don't like the shift. But you know, it is what it is. I'm not saying one way or the other, I don't really care about the pitch clock. I understand why they're doing it, but I don't think it's going to make much of a difference. They've tried to make changes like that in the past. It doesn't make much of a difference.
Yeah, I'm a baseball purist, man.
Well, the one rule I can't stand, I'll say this about them trying to quicken the game up, that the pitch clock is one thing, whatever. The bullpen rule I hate. The fact when you come in, you have to throw to 3 batters, I hate that rule.
Yeah, unless you finish an inning, then
it takes away all the strategy of the game. You used to be able to bring in the lefty to face just the lefty. You had a lefty specialist on your roster. It completely diminished the value of lefty relievers coming out of the bullpen because very rarely are there going to be 3 lefties in a row that you have to throw to, right?
So managers are going to set their lineup to go. Most of them did it anyway.
Yeah.
But you would do righty, lefty, knowing that can't.
I hate that rule. I'll say that. I don't like that rule.
I don't like the extra wild card. I don't. There's a lot of things. I don't like the ghost man on second in the extra innings. That's stupid too. I don't like a lot of things they've done at baseball. It's just my opinion. Again, I'm a purist, so I like the way it was played in the 80s and 90s. Yeah. But it ain't the 80s and 90s anymore, so you gotta adjust. Still love it. I still watch it all the time.
Oh, we're still gonna watch. Of course. You, man. Thank you very much, man. There's no way we will see DJ won't be here next year. Fact. I mean, we'll see. Let's give him what choice? What do we have but to give him the year? And we'll see what happens.
And like you said before, Chris, no excuses. You're not gonna make excuses. He either wins or he doesn't.
Yeah,
he's back or he's not.
I see people in the chat, a couple people in the chat saying, "Well, you can't blame if the team stinks and they only win 6 or 7 games. You can't blame that on DJ if he plays well." That's fair. That's all well and good. Doesn't matter. If they're going to be in a position to draft a quarterback, they're probably taking one. If you're Joe Shane, are you going to commit $35 to $40 million? I say it all the time. Tell me one quarterback in the history of the NFL that got a contract extension off of 4 straight losing seasons, whether it was his fault or not. And the fact that he's got a new GM who never drafted him in the first place. So that's just the reality of the situation, regardless of it, whether it's fair or not. They've got to win games this year for Daniel Jones to keep his job. That's the reality of the situation. Brady says, we go 1-4. Are we yelling DJ out, guys? Opinions. Me personally, no, because I don't think Tyrod Taylor does anything. We saw Tyrod Taylor in the preseason. I'm going to give Daniel Jones as long as the coaching staff feels like they need to analyze him this year. Tyrod Taylor's not going to help us win very many football games, Baddog. So, no, I don't really see a reason to, me personally, to yell Daniel Jones out after 5 weeks, unless he is just so bad, which I don't think he will be. So, no, there's going to be fans that do. But if you're asking for me, no, I will not be calling for his job at 1-4 because Tyrod Taylor doesn't offer much. He's not a better alternative.
Yeah, he's not the future. Yeah. It was one thing. It was one thing when we drafted Daniel Jones and Eli started 0-2. Nice. Just put Daniel Jones there. Daniel Jones is the future. You drafted him 6th overall. Our team sucks. Get Daniel Jones get him the reps. Get him the experience. Yeah. Tyrod Taylor's not the future of this team. 1-4, no. Daniel Jones is still going to be the quarterback. In my opinion, he still gives us the best chance to win. I'm not saying this is a throwaway year, but Shane and Daboll have said we are rebuilding. We're not going to rebuild with Tyrod Taylor. Now, at the end of the year, if we're 3-10, I could see Tyrod Taylor starting the last 4 games. Yeah, right. That I could see. But you're right. 1-4 to be. I can tell you this, and I'm critical of Daniel Jones. I won't be like, oh, Daniel Jones can't start. I'm not going to be one of those guys either. As a matter of fact, I don't care if Daniel Jones starts, if he's benched week 2, or if he plays the entire season, if that's what they think is best for the team. I don't really care.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I'm just going to wait and see what Daniel Jones does. If he plays 2 games or 17 games, I'm just going to wait and see what he does. But Tyrod Taylor's at the future, so I'm not in a hurry to get rid of Daniel Jones as far as benching him goes. And, we'll see what it is. But I think Daniel Jones is going to get more in 5 games.
For sure.
So, but you're right. I mean, we could lose to Tennessee. And I think I said this jokingly a couple months ago that we'll be losing 10-3 at halftime. Daniel Jones, 8 for 14 with an interception and a fumble. Bench him. Get Tyrod Taylor in there. Daniel Jones can't. That's what's going to happen.
Oh, of course it's going to happen.
Yeah. So,
but you're asking me and what I think the Giants are going to do? No, I don't think they're benching Daniel Jones if they start 1-4. No. Because of what you just said. We know what Taylor is. And we probably know what Jones is. But it's neither one of them. If Jones is going to suck this year, neither one of them is going to be the future. But they're going to give Jones more than 4 or 5 weeks in a new offense, being that they're still analyzing what he is. Taylor was brought in here to be the backup. This is not a win-now football team. So, yeah, no, I'd be shocked if Daniel Jones replaced after 5 weeks.
Right. If Daniel Jones, I forgot what I was going to say. I'm sorry. So next year, Daniel Jones is gone, just say, and we draft Anthony Richardson.
Right.
But they don't start Anthony Richardson game 1.
Yeah.
And then Tyrod Taylor's 1-4. Yeah. Then you're like, put Anthony Richardson in there. It's a different story. Yeah. But yeah, since Tyrod Taylor's not the future, Daniel Jones should play every game unless he's hurt. Or like I said, we're 3-10 and they're just like, the hell with it. He ain't coming back. Let Tyrod Taylor play the rest of the year. We don't give a damn about Daniel Jones. We already know we're going to draft the quarterback. And maybe at that point, the Giants are like, we'll just take a look at some players. And if we go 3-14 and get the first overall pick or second overall pick and get our quarterback, we're fine with that.
Yeah.
I really hope we're not in that situation. I would like the Giants season to last longer than the Yankee season because it hasn't in the last 3 years.
I sure hope
4 years, 5 years.
Hopefully.
No, I shouldn't say that. 2020, it lasted all the way.
2020, but it wasn't because of the Giants.
I know, but at least that was fun.
It was because of their circumstances.
At least it was fun, though.
It was a lot of fun.
It was fun.
Dashy, man, thank you very much. Just Ohio State host Arkansas State tomorrow at noon. Reds lead the Brewers 5-2 right now in Milwaukee. Thoughts? Well, I mean, I think Ohio State's gonna blow their doors off, and I'll definitely be trying to catch that game. For sure. I'm trying to watch Trout as much as I can. Not that you're going to be able to analyze much out of that game. I mean, they should destroy Arkansas State. As far as the Reds leading the Brewers, I mean, I know you're a Reds fan, so congratulations. And that's a bad loss for the Brewers, right? They're competing for a wild card spot. So that's a bad loss for them losing to you guys. But congratulations on the win, man.
Yeah, I don't think there's a dash. I don't think there's a. I don't think there's even a Ohio State. Stroud won't be playing in the fourth quarter. Just put it that way.
Oh, they're going to destroy them.
He might not be playing in the middle of the third quarter, but that game will be over midway through the second quarter tomorrow.
No, it should be. If it's not, you got concerns if you're in Ohio State.
Yeah, definitely.
NY Giants 26 says, think I'm officially going to start a pot. Do it, man. Bobby Thompson, NFL journalist covering the Bucks, and that's motivated me after I asked him for advice. Scared I won't get listeners, though. Got to shed that fear. Dude, Baddog and myself, when we first started, how the hell would we know if we were going to get any listeners? Just do it. If it's something that you feel you want to do it, man. Have fun with it. That's it. You should, at the end of the day, if you really enjoy it and that's a passion of yours, you shouldn't even care if you have listeners. I mean, at least starting out. If you're good and people enjoy it, listeners will come. It will happen. But if it's something you're passionate about and something that you want to try out, that shouldn't deter you because you're scared that you're not going to get enough listeners. That's just my opinion on it. If you're passionate about it, do it. That's it. If it's something that you think you're going to love doing, do it.
Never be afraid to fail.
Yeah.
Never be afraid to fail. You're human. You're going to fail. It's something. But if you don't take a chance, you'll never succeed. If you're scared to fail, you're never going to succeed. That's a fact. You may fail, you may succeed. But if you're scared of failing, you will never succeed. Trust me, I've done a lot of things that I've failed at. And that's why when I did the silver play button video, I mentioned my wife at the beginning and how much she's meant to me, not just on YouTube, but at everything that I've succeeded at, because I've certainly failed at things over 22 years I took shots at. She was always there. It's not like she's like, oh, don't even try. If anything, my wife pushes me because I've mentioned this before. Like I'm such a gym advocate. I watch my diet so much. I'm probably too damn lean. Like I don't need to be this lean. And I'm at a point where my wife's like, and literally, these are her words. This is why I married her. Stop being a pussy. Do it. That's her. She's like, if you finish dead last, if you're 10 guys and you finish 10th, who cares? You did it. That's the type of person she is. So I always say I'm not afraid of finishing 10th to 10th. I just don't want to shave my body and I don't want to go through the prep. That's my, I don't care about failing. I fail a lot. I'm wrong a lot. That's the other thing. When you do a podcast, you do a YouTube channel, you do anything, you're on Twitter, wherever you are, if you're putting your voice, your face, your whatever out there, you're subject to be wrong. And people are going to say, oh, you were wrong about that. That was a terrible take. Oh, this aged poorly. That's part of it, man. So you can't ever be afraid to put your opinion out there either, because you are going to be wrong. It is going to happen. And
a lot. It is. Yeah.
And then if you're right, people are going to be like, oh, you're just a hater. Sometimes you can't win.
You know what you find out on Baddog on YouTube and podcast? When you're right, you'll never hear about it.
Nobody cares.
When you're wrong, people rag on you for 10 years. Yeah. They'll keep going back to, oh, Chris, you were wrong. Makes
them feel better about that.
You were wrong about that.
That's what it does.
Before Josh Allen became a good quarterback, I said he was going to be the breakout quarterback in the NFL. I never hear people go back to my video when I said that, when I talk about the breakout quarterbacks for the 2020 season, and say, Chris, oh my God, you were spot on about that. But they will be the first to jump on me for saying that the Giants were going to win 9 or 10 games last year. Yeah. So
hey, listen, when I came out and said Sam Darnold,
Baddog, that's the way it works.
Yeah, no, when I said Sam Darnold was going to suck, no one's ever come back and go, boy, you're right about him. He does suck. No, or whatever. That doesn't happen. So. But I don't care. It doesn't matter. I was when it's YouTube, when it's your channel, you put your opinion out there. It doesn't matter if it's YouTube. It doesn't matter if you're on WFAN. It doesn't matter if you're on ESPN, NFL Network. They're all freaking wrong.
Yep.
At some point or another. And they're all right at some point or another.
Everybody's got opinions.
No matter what you do in life. It doesn't matter. When you're at work, sometimes you're right, sometimes you're wrong. You make mistakes. You're human. The shit happens. The people that can't admit they're wrong, they got insecurity issues. That sucks for them. I ain't insecure. I'm wrong all the time. I jokingly say it all the time. I've been with my wife 22 years. I'm married. I'm always wrong. Ask her. Even when I'm right, I'm wrong.
Yeah. So listen, you're going to be wrong just as much as you're right at the end of the day.
Unless you're married, you're wrong way more than you are.
When you're married, you're always wrong.
Yeah. So I'm used to it. So when I come on here and actually get something right, I'm like, yeah. How about that, Mrs. Baddog? I got that one right.
Dominic says, Baddog, Aaron Hicks stinks. Baddog, I showed you that play before we went live. What do you think of that play tonight? What the hell was that? Aaron Hicks on that play got a fly ball going down the left field line. He misses the ball, and he's got his back to the ball, and he's looking at the wall. And obviously, Baddog, he had to think that it was a foul ball, right? He had to. But still, the optics are so bad. You're in the biggest game of the year, up to date. You're going up against the Rays, who are only 4 games behind you, or whatever they are. And he misses the ball, and like a 5-year-old girl, he puts his head down like this for like 3 seconds as the runners are rounding the bases.
The Yankees have some of the lowest IQ ball players you will ever see in your life. They got rid of Trash Can Sanchez. Gleyber Torres is probably the lowest IQ baseball player I've ever seen in my life, and Aaron Hicks is probably lower than that. I got a video. I got a video for it. I don't know what to say, man. Listen now. I'm not watching the game now. I looked at the box score. I noticed Hicks isn't in the game, so I don't know if he got hurt. I don't know if they pinch hit for him.
No, they pulled him. They pulled him.
Oh, Aaron Boone actually pulled him.
Yeah.
Good for Aaron Boone. It's about time you grew a set of balls. Seriously.
Yeah. And Rich, man, thank you very much, man. If your life depended on it, who wins more games, the Giants or the Jets? I've been asked this question, Rich, now for about a month, and I'm not going to change my opinion on it. I'm going to go with the Giants, but it'll be very close. The reason I say the Giants, One, I don't even know when Wilson's getting back. Right now, Joe Flacco's the starting quarterback for the New York Jets. That's kind of been now backed. I think they said it's at least 3 weeks, and who knows? That could extend into 5 or 6 weeks for all we know. But my main reason behind it, without that, the Jets' schedule is they may have the hardest schedule in the NFL, and the Giants may have the easiest. So because of that, I'm picking the Giants, but it'll be pretty close. But I'm going with the Giants. I think the Giants win more games.
Neither one of them would be great.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I agree. I mean, the Giants don't have to play the Bills twice. So
Yeah.
that's lucky for us. And, yeah, our schedule is not that difficult. I don't think – I mean, the teams in the NFC East are better than we are. On paper, Dallas is better than us. Philadelphia is better than us. But I don't think our division's great by any stretch of the imagination. Obviously, we play the Packers. That's tough. We play the Ravens. That's really tough. But the Bears, that's not tough. Carolina, Houston, Jacksonville. Those are teams, the Commanders twice. I mean, those are teams that we should be able to beat.
Yeah. I'm going to show you the Jets schedule again. I've gone over this before. This is the Jets schedule. And keep in mind, Joe Flacco starting.
And Seattle is another game we play. We should have beat Seattle. They're no good.
This is Jets schedule. Ravens at Cleveland. They may be able to win that. Maybe. Cincinnati at Pittsburgh. Miami at Green Bay. At Denver, who now has Russell Wilson, the Patriots, the Bills, at New England, then, in my opinion, their first real easy game, Chicago, then at Minnesota, at Buffalo, and 3 easy games at the end of the year with Detroit, Jacksonville, at Seattle, and then at Miami, which is not an easy game.
Jets could win 3 or 4 games.
The Jets schedule is brutal.
That is tough.
It is brutal this year. So that's my main reasoning.
I got the NFC North. That's tough.
Yeah. And Tommy B says, "Sup, fellas? Worst case scenario, we go 7-10, and DJ plays okay. I see us kicking the can down the road next year. That's good. I don't agree with that. I think if we win 7 games and DJ's just okay, we're drafting a quarterback. I think it's going to require more than that for Dan Jones to keep his job. He's going to have to play really well, and we're going to have to win at least 8 or 9 games. That's my opinion on the matter. If he plays okay and we go 7-10." The Giants are at least in a position to be able to trade up to get a quarterback. So I do not think that'll be the case. I think they will be moving on from Daniel Jones in that scenario, Tommy.
Yeah, Daniel Jones would have to be phenomenal.
Yeah. If we went 7-10 and they kept Jones, Jones has to be really, really good.
Yeah.
And Hunter Fay, man, I think I remember for 18 months says, "I have Kadarius Toney at my flex on Sunday. You think I should sub him for Michael Thomas or Shep? On that note, should we expect major production from Shep? No, there's no way I'm starting Shep in fantasy over Toney. No. Now, Toney's a bit of an unknown because the guy hasn't done much in the NFL yet, but you have to figure he's going to be one of our main featured receivers. And I think I would start Toney over Thomas as well. But I guess that's 50-50. I don't know too much about the New Orleans situation and how they plan to utilize him early in the year. But no, I think Toney's going to be used a lot this year, and he could be used a lot in this game because I think we're going to struggle running the football. And like I said earlier in the stream, I do think the Titans' weakness on their defense is their corner play. So, no, I actually think Toney could have a pretty good game week 1. We'll see. I would start him.
I would too.
Mr. Mini Guy says, "Stand up. Looks like the NL East is tied right now." Well, it ain't gonna be tied if the Braves win tonight. Let me take a quick look. I know the Braves. I know
they play later. I don't know what they're doing right now.
Yeah, they're playing the Mariners, and they are winning by 1 in the top of the 4th with a runner on 3rd. So if they win, it's not gonna be tied. You guys are gonna be in the lead, Mr. Mini Guy. King 26 Reyes says, "Julian Love is one of the few good players to get him drafted. I would re-sign him." I don't know. I mean, I like him. It depends on his market, for sure, but I like him. It was one of Gettleman's better picks. He was a 4th-round pick out of Notre Dame, and he's proven to be a pretty good player in the Giants secondary. But it all come down to how they feel he fits in the defense. Well, I actually think he fits relatively well. But we drafted Belton. You got to see what they do in the draft next year. We'll see. I'd like him back for the right price if it makes sense. I think he's a good player. We'll see how he does this year with a more expanded role. But I think everybody's a question mark that's a pending free agent on whether or not they'll be back. And Julian Love certainly is far from a sure thing.
Yeah, I think Gettleman's drafted other good players, though. I think Andrew Thomas is a really good player. Zizou Zolari certainly has the potential. McKinney's my guy.
Yeah.
He didn't do a good job. I mean, don't get me wrong, but he did find some good players. And listen, Tay Crowder, not the greatest player ever, but for the value, that's probably Gettleman's best pick as far as value goes. You got a starting linebacker. pretty
Yeah.
productive, and he was Mr. Irrelevant. There's a reason those guys are called Mr. Irrelevant, because nobody usually remembers their name, and Crowder's had a pretty good NFL career. Granted, it's on a bad team, and most teams he wouldn't be getting the opportunity, but
to get a starting player, I don't care what team you are, with the last pick in the NFL draft.
Yeah, that was decent. Slayton looked like it could have been a good pick, but yeah, he missed a lot.
Yeah.
He missed a lot. With big ones. You know, he swung and missed on Barkley, to be honest. I mean, it's not Gettleman's fault. Barkley couldn't stay healthy, but that's a swing and a miss. Daniel Jones is a swing and a miss. You know,
DeAndre Baker.
Right. DeAndre Baker was a swing and a miss. Dexter Lawrence is a swing and a ground ball.
Foul ball, maybe a single.
I mean, not terrible. Zemenez, Carter, garbage.
DJ Hill turned out pretty good, but we traded him.
Right. That usually happens. Dalvin Tomlinson, you know, well, he was Reese's guy, right?
Yeah, Tomlinson was Reese's guy.
But he definitely missed more than he connected. That's
that's why he doesn't have a job.
You know, Shane Lemieux, Matt Parrott, you know, that's
And Giants fan, man, thank you very much. Says, I usually do watch those, usually on game day, Giants fan, so I will check that out. He says, check out Chuck Knox's hype video. I'm ready to run through a wall. Yeah, he does a good job with those. I'll definitely check that out on Sunday before the game. That's usually when I watch them, when I'm getting amped up before week 1. So I'll definitely check that out, Giants fan.
Yeah, God, I've been watching Chuck for a long time. My man, Chuck Knox, years.
Yeah,
Chuck.
He does a good job with those hype up.
Oh, he's always done an amazing job.
Yeah, he does a good job with those.
Yep, he does.
Steven says, never thought I'd say this, but I think I have more confidence in the offense than the defense on Sunday.
I understand, Steve. I mean, we're missing our 2 best defensive players outside of McKinney. Yeah. You know, Azeez Ojulari, Kayvon Thibodeaux obviously changes. And for the most part, the offense is healthy.
Yeah, I don't have a whole lot of, at least week 1, I don't have a whole lot of confidence in either unit, if I'm being completely honest, going up against the Titans.
But I get what Steven
said.
We're healthy on offense, at least.
I could understand it, for sure. I definitely have my worries about the O-line week 1, going up against this Tennessee Titans defense, but I could certainly understand why somebody would say that. But it's not even really a compliment to the offense. It's more, you know, the defense that you're really worried about, obviously, with all the injuries.
I'm gonna talk myself right into the fact I think we can win this freaking game. That's
don't do it.
I do it every freaking week of my life. Like
I already know
we're gonna lose. And game day gets here, and I get pumped up. I'm like, we can win this game.
I'm gonna do it too on Sunday.
Every time I do, every week. I'm like, we're gonna get killed.
That's why.
Then we're ready to go. So I wake up, I eat my breakfast. I'm like, oh yeah, we gonna win today.
We're gonna catch a break. We're gonna find a way to get a win. We'll do it.
I do it all the time.
We like it. We like to torture ourselves.
Of course we do. We're Giants fans. We don't know any different.
The freaking Rican. He says, "Would you pay Eli to come out of retirement and replace DJ? And if so, what's the contract looking like? To play quarterback? No. To play quarterback?
Eli would never come out of retirement.
Eli Manning
good.
Have you seen Eli Manning? Eli Manning today had me dying of laughter. The guy has his own show on YouTube now, the Eli Manning Show, and he's basically like Ashton Kutcher used to be when he had that show Punked. He's out there pranking people. He's enjoying life. He's enjoying his family. He's enjoying his role with the New York Giants. If you were Eli Manning, why in the world would you ever want to come back to quarterback for this football team?
Yeah, he's also, 40, 41
years old? Eli Manning was the punching.
He ain't Tom Brady. He had a dad bod his entire career.
Let him ride off into the sunset. Let him enjoy his retirement. He doesn't have to hear from the fan base that it's all his fault like he did for the last 4 years of his career anymore. And now everybody sees
the team is probably worse. It's worse now than it was when he left.
Yeah, so
he ain't coming back.
He won his 2 Super Bowls. Let him enjoy that. Ayub, man, thank you very much, man. By the way, the Braves are on the Mets. The Braves are going to win the division. Braves are going to win the division. Mets are going to get the wild card. I have no doubt in my mind. Braves are going to win the division. And Adam, man, thank you very much, man. Giants FB is back. Stand up.
Football.
Oh, football. Yeah. I was thinking Facebook for some reason.
Yeah, it's one acronym I got correct.
Yeah. Stand up, New York Giants fans. Thank you so much for being here, Adam, man. Appreciate it. And Irish Rover says a good pilot is compelled to evaluate what's happened so he or she can apply what he's learned. Up there, we have to push it. Don't be afraid to push it. I'm assuming you're talking about the offense, Irish Rover. If that's what you're referring to, yeah, I listen. If Dan Jones throws 3 interceptions against the Titans, I want him to keep throwing. Yeah, I want him to keep throwing. I don't want Jones to be scared. I don't want Daboll to be scared to be aggressive this year. We have to find out what we have in our quarterback. And part of being a good NFL quarterback, we've learned this with Eli, is overcoming adversity. You have to give him the opportunity to both win and lose football games this year. If that's what you're talking about, let him go out there and prove whether or not he can
Let him be Jameis Winston.
If that's what he is, that's what he is. You got to find out.
Did you throw for 5,000 yards and 36 touchdowns and 25 interceptions? Oh, well.
Yeah.
I would much rather Daniel Jones take chances and be aggressive and turn the ball over as opposed to being scared and turn the ball over.
Yeah.
You know, I don't want Daniel Jones holding on to the ball, scared to throw, and he gets sacked and fumbles. I want Daniel Jones to say, F it, throwing this ball up to Kenny Galladay, go get it.
Yeah.
That's what I want to see. I want shots down the field. Now, can the offensive line give Daniel Jones time to throw some shots down the field? Who knows, right? That's the big question. I'd also like to see Saquon Barkley go out and wheel routes. Now, wheel routes take a long time to develop, but that's how we killed New Orleans. Barkley had that big touchdown against New Orleans on a wheel route because you get a running back against a linebacker going down the sideline, man. That's a mismatch. It's Barkley should be able to win that. And yeah, they take a long time to develop those. So the line needs to protect DJ, but just be aggressive, man. That's the one thing, Chris. I think that the Giants are going to be aggressive on both sides of the ball this year. And win or lose, it'll be a lot more. You'll enjoy it a lot more. But obviously, we hate losing, but it'll be watchable this year, Giants fan. I guess I don't want to settle for losing. Like, I hate losing, and you know that. And when they lose, I'm still going to rant. I'm going to be pissed off in my postgame. It's just me. That's how I am. But they'll be much more watchable. They were almost unwatchable the last 6 weeks of last year. They were unwatchable. I don't know how the hell Chris and I watched them. That's because of you guys and girls. You're amazing.
Yeah.
But yeah, they'll be a lot more entertaining this year.
Yeah. They can't be less entertaining. So,
although I gotta be honest, they were so bad it was pretty entertaining.
The Giants were like, you ever hear of the movie Sharknado?
Yes.
Okay, that movie was so bad, it was good. That's what I felt about the Giants.
That's usually a lot of horror movies. They're so bad, they're good.
The Giants were Sharknado last year. The team got to a point where they were so bad, it almost became enjoyable to see how bad they could be.
Back-to-back quarterback sneaks. Jake minus 10 yards passing against the Bears. Chris, was it the first play of the Bears game that Fromm got hit, fumbled, and they returned the ball at a 2-yard line?
Yeah.
Is that the Bears game? Like, that's the type of crap?
Yep.
Is that or Glennon? I think Glennon played against the Bears, then Fromm came in, but that's when we started the circus music. No circus music.
And I saw you. You think I'm wrong on Nope? This is my opinion on Nope, and I will go back and watch it again. I always watch movies twice, especially a movie like that I had high expectations for going in. My overall analyzation of Nope, and I'm not going to ruin it for anybody, for anybody that has not seen it, I think they came up with a really good idea in terms of the twist. I'm referring to the UFO, but that's all I'm going to say. But the movie just didn't gel for me. It didn't work. Bobby Murphy, thank you very much. What's up, fellas? Giants lose 31-17 Sunday, and go Birds. What's going on, Bobby, man? Thanks for popping in. I have it 24-17, Giants lose, but I could see 31-17, a late touchdown for sure. And hopefully your Birds get destroyed against the Lions. That's what I'm hoping for. But thank you so much, Bobby, for popping in, man. I appreciate it.
I have 2013 Titans. That's what I think. But 31-17, definitely a possibility.
Yeah.
And the Birds can go fly right into the side of a building.
Hopefully the Lions devour the Birds this week.
I'm sure Jared Goff is going to have a massive game. Eagles should win that one pretty easily.
Hey, everybody seems to be on the Lions bandwagon this year. Everybody's super excited about the Lions this year.
It's gonna be DeAndre Swift, man. It's what it's got to be.
I hope they prove those.
Pull the upset. Make Jalen Hurts throw the ball. You win. Make him throw the ball. Lions got to stop the run. Lions stop the run. They win.
Yeah.
Jalen Hurts has to throw the ball 40 times or more. That's a dub for the Lions.
Stop the run. Yeah, same game plan we have. Lions got to have. Stop the run.
Right.
Stop the line.
We got to stop one guy. The Lions got to stop like 4.
Yeah.
And I don't think either one of us are going to stop them.
Probably not. And Johnny, man, thanks for popping in, buddy. He says, I'm not expecting the world this year, but they got to just compete with the good teams to prove something and maybe steal a win here and there from the Eagles, especially.
We'll steal one from the Eagles. I predicted us to take one from the Eagles.
You got, yeah, I could see a split with the Eagles. It's
Daniel Jones plays his best games against the Commanders in Philadelphia.
That's true.
Daniel Jones should be 3-1 against the Eagles, but of course, Evan Ingram had to drop the pass.
That's also true.
Daniel Jones beat the Eagles last year. We won a quarter of our games against the Eagles. Jalen Hurts sucked. Expect more of the same.
Maybe we get a split this year.
Well, we do.
Let's do it.
We do.
And Adam, man, thanks for popping in, man. He says, hey, gents, here's to another season opener. I joined the stream late, but what are the keys to victory this week? Adam, man, thank you so much, man, for all the support you always show on both of our channels, always in the streams. Keys to victory. One, everybody in this chat, if you're a Giants fan, I don't care if you're religious or not, go to church on Sunday. Say whatever you got to say to get the Giants to get a win. That's the biggest key. As fans, we have to do our part. But in terms of
Jesus has turned his back on the Giants. I know he's right over there. Even Jesus couldn't watch the Giants last year. He said, I say, Jesus, you're right. He turns back. Says, sorry, bad dog. Sorry, Chris. You got this one in your own. I got other things. This Sunday, it's a holy day. You think I got time to help you guys out with the Giants? They're beyond help. It doesn't matter how many Our Fathers or Hail Marys you're saying, guys. I can't even help the Giants. I can't even perform that miracle. That was Jesus last year. Now he's looking now.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Whatever prayer, I will say as many Hail Marys as it takes on Sunday to get the job done. But Adam, in terms of on the field, I mean, I think the obvious is Derrick Henry, right? On the defensive end. That's anytime you play the Titans, that's where it starts. You have to find a way to keep him contained. And he's going to get his 70, 80 yards at least, but you have to keep him contained. You can't let him chew up the clock throughout the whole game and beat up your defense.
I'm just looking at my Instagram real quick. I can't tell you how many Bad Dog do it. Aaron Hicks.
Oh, I'm sure, yeah.
Don't worry. It's coming.
Yeah.
Yeah, but, I'll go off on him. I can't stand that guy. He's right there with Gary Sanchez. I hate him. The dude sucks. I'll save it. I can probably do a 15-minute rant on that guy.
Yeah, he's
every day.
But yeah, Adam, to get back to your question, Derrick Henry, stuff the run. That's definitely the biggest key on the defensive side of the ball. And on the offensive side of the ball, I think it's going to come down to Jones. Like I could tell you, we got to find a way to establish the run and chew up the clock. I'm going to be honest with you. The Titans last year had the second best run defense in the National Football League. I don't see it happening. I don't think we're going to be able to consistently get 4 or 5 yards at a clip. So I think it's going to come down to Jones trying to take advantage of those inexperienced corners for the Titans. But for that to happen, the offensive line has to hold up blocks. So it's kind of what Baddog said earlier. The trenches on both sides are the biggest key in this game. But Jones, if the Giants are going to win this game, it's going to be Daniel Jones. Daniel Jones is going to be the guy that carries us to a win if we win this game. But on the defensive end, it's obvious. You have to stop Derrick Henry. And it goes without saying the Giants aren't good enough to win a game without losing the turnover battle. So we got to be smart in that area as well. So we'll see. Can't beat ourselves with penalties. We'll see. Hopefully our offense can come out and surprise them. I'll say that.
Yeah, Adam, I think definitely we have to win the turnover battle and put our offense in plus position. But I think the big key, besides stopping Derrick Henry, I think anybody that's even a casual football fan would know that that's a guy you got to stop. If you have any chance of winning, you can't allow Derrick Henry to rush the ball 35 times for 140 yards and allow Tennessee to control the ball, 35 minutes of the game. But when we have an opportunity, when we do get down inside the 20, we got to score 7, man. We can't be settling for threes. Like the Giants have got to finish these drives with touchdowns. That's something that we have not done in years. They got to finish with 7, especially when they're inside the 10. We've had so many times, first and goal from the 5, finish with a field goal. First and goal over the 9, field goal. We can't settle for 3. We have got to put touchdowns on the board, man. And that's just not in this game. That's all year. But it'd be nice to set the tenor for the season by showing that Daniel Jones can finish a drive with a touchdown, that Kenny Golladay can catch a damn touchdown this year, that Saquon Barkley shows that explosiveness around the goal line and can get a touchdown. Listen, I'm all for those trick plays. I like seeing them now and again. I don't want to see that shit inside the 4-yard line. I don't want to see some stupid end around to Wan'Dale Robinson or some wildcat crap. Hand the ball off to Saquon Barkley. And if you can't get 4 yards with Saquon in 3 plays, and you deserve to lose. So I hate that. I hate when the Giants do that type of stuff. That's something they did. That's when they would decide to be tricky. Oh, we have first and goal from the 3. Let's run a freaking jet sweep with Sterling Shepard and lose 4 yards.
Yeah.
No more of that.
So you mean you don't want them to throw a touchdown to Andrew Thomas?
That's fine. I don't care who they throw the touchdown to. I don't care who they throw it to.
Remember that play that Joe Judge drew up? I think it was Joe Judge. Well, no, Joe Judge wasn't the offensive coordinator at the time. I think it was actually Freddie Kitchens 2 years ago for a game, because I think it was the game where Garrett had COVID. Remember that play they drew up where they brought out, I think it was the punter to throw a pass? It was like the weirdest formation I had ever seen. Yeah. It was on like the 5 or 6 yard line, and it was a shotgun snap. I think it was to the punter, and he threw a pass. I can't remember the exact.
Yeah.
But I don't want to see none of that.
And he threw the ball right out of bounds.
Yeah.
Horrible.
I don't want to see none of that. Yeah, Dixon to Gates. That was it, Evan.
Yeah, that was horrible. Riley Dixon couldn't kick or throw. He lost the punt, pass, and kick competition when he was a kid.
He was a former quarterback. Remember, he was a former quarterback.
He looked like a former quarterback.
Yeah,
he looked like the former. He looked like
a former quarterback.
Yeah.
And Rick Carman, thank you very much. Devontae Smith versus Aaron Robinson. Storyline from last year. Draft drama. I have seen preseason, and it's nauseating to think about Devontae taking a blank in MetLife. Optimistically, he has some time to grow. Yeah, I mean, we got a long ways to go before we play the Eagles. Right now I'm worried about what's the name of the rookie he's going up against this week on the Titans. Why is the name?
I forgot his name.
First round draft pick. Somebody in the chat's gonna say it, but that's who I'm thinking about, because that's who I think he's gonna be paired up on. So I'm not even thinking about Devontae Smith. And yeah, I'm not even upset that we passed on Devontae Smith. I'm not. I don't. Whatever. We ended up getting Evan Neal because we traded back. So I would much rather have Evan Neal on my team personally than Devontae Smith. I think you could find a wide receiver in the next year or two from within the draft. So
I took Devontae Smith to my fantasy team, so he should be hurt
by the way, Baddog.
So he should Devontae Smith should be hurt by week 3 or have a really bad year because he's on my fantasy,
on your fantasy team.
I curse everybody and he went late. Like, I guess AJ Brown getting there really screwed up, because I think me and my buddy took him in the 8th or 9th round. I'm like, why the hell is Devontae Smith still there? I'm thinking Devontae Smith could have a bigger year because they got AJ Brown. I'm thinking that AJ Brown's gonna get the number 1 corner, and that, Devontae Smith is gonna have free reign. I think he'd have a bigger year. But
my outlook on, and I ended up getting AJ Brown only because he fell to a point where I couldn't not take him in my fantasy draft. But my outlook on the Eagles this year, at least from a fantasy standpoint, and I never want to draft the Eagles if I can avoid it. I don't want to touch an Eagle in fantasy, because I think I'm not to say they won't have good years, but I don't see any of them having great years. I think it's going to be a team where they kind of cycle the running backs week to week. The only guy that's good from a fantasy perspective, in my opinion, is Jalen Hurts, because he's going to get you the rushing yards. He's going to get you fantasy points. But I don't love any of the receivers in fantasy this year.
Yeah, like I said, we took him late. So
yeah. Oh, that late, you can't go wrong.
Yeah.
King John, man, thank you very much, man. I'm not going to say we can't beat the Titans or any other team. Nobody said we would beat the Seahawks back in 2020. I agree, King John. Listen, at the end of the day, the Houston Texans beat the Titans last year. It can happen. Any given Sunday, you see upsets every week in the NFL. It can happen. But I'm going to go in with my prediction, and my outlook on the game is, I think we're going to lose. But could we win? Absolutely.
I'll be honest, King. The whole reason that I'll be honest, I think if we played Tennessee in like week 14, I might pick us to win. I just feel like right now, I think the Giants are going to get better as the year progresses. But I think right now, our two best edge rushers are out. Everything's brand new. The offensive line hasn't played it all together. So I just feel like Tennessee's experience certainly is going to win out, and their experienced head coach. Like, I feel like their experience will be enough to get them a W, and it's in Tennessee. So I don't think they're blowing us out. I don't think the Tennessee Titans are like that much more talented than us. Derrick, I mean, if you look at it, Derrick Henry, you look at the numbers, he's more talented than Saquon, but is he really more talented than Saquon? Like, nobody can say Saquon can't have a massive game as far as like total yards from scrimmage. Maybe he can't run the ball, but maybe he gets 100 yards receiving. Is Ryan Tannehill really that much better than Daniel Jones? Everybody said that Daniel Jones' ceiling was Ryan Tannehill.
Yeah.
I mean, they're very similar, except for Tannehill's got a better pocket presence. Maybe Daboll and maybe they fixed that. Maybe Daniel Jones, they just pounded it into. Listen, dude, just chuck the ball. Are their receivers really that much better than our receivers?
No, I don't think they are.
Right? Is their secondary that much better? Not that the secondaries play each other.
Yeah,
I don't. Like I said, the Titans are definitely a better team, but they're not like. It's not like we're playing when we play the Packers and the Ravens. They're way better than we are on paper.
Yeah.
So, those I don't really give as much of a chance. But like you said, anything can happen on Sunday. But I feel like if we play Tennessee week 14 and they were used to Daboll and Kafka and the offensive line had their,
I agree with that
chemistry,
we stand a much better.
I could pick us to win that game.
Well, it's kind of the way my outlook on the Colts game later in the year. By that point, the Giants are going to be much more developed.
Right.
And I even though I think the Colts are better than the Titans because of where
they're similar though.
Yeah, they are similar.
They're similar teams.
Because of when
they want to use a good offensive line, they want to run the ball. The only thing is Matt Ryan's better than Tannehill.
Yeah, I think he's at least slightly better. Yeah. But I just think because of when we play the Colts on the schedule, we stand a better chance to win that game than this one.
Yeah, I agree.
And
I think that's in MetLife too.
It is. It's home.
Yeah. So
Mick 2 Cole, man. Thank you very much, man. Love the show. Giants win Sunday. Remember, I said it from your lips to God's ears. Haven't won a home opener since 2016. So hopefully we get it done. Let's see.
We're gonna bring good vibes, man. I don't have the 2007 shirt, but we're gonna bring the good vibes right into the chat right now. Because I bought this special this year. Okay. So this Butte. I want to drink a lot of this year after the games. I bought this special for the Giants. This Macallan 18 double K. It's fantastic scotch, by the way. If you any scotch drinkers out there never had Macallan, get Macallan. If you can afford a 21-year bottle of Macallan, God bless you. Get that. It's way better. Just I don't have $1,600 laying around. That wasn't cheap as it was. Shout out to Lucas Aiken. Bought that for me. The guy's a legend. But I went out and got that. So let's win. I want to drink that. It's good. So this is for the Giants this year. And you see what color the box is?
Big blue.
It's freaking blue.
I hope you're right, man. I'm gonna let you, Baddog, pick. I ain't getting that. But what am I drinking this year? I'll go out and buy it. What am I drinking this year?
What kind of what you bourbon guy? You a Scotch guy?
I'm a whiskey guy. Scotch, whiskey.
All right. So you're not getting you can get Macallan 15 year.
Okay.
You can get, I don't know what your price range is. You can get Glenfiddich 18 year.
Okay.
You can get what's the other one? Not Dewar's is gross. You want a single malt Scotch. You don't want a blended Scotch. Those are disgusting. Dalwhinnie Scotch is good. Anything 18 year is good. If you can get an 18-year bottle of Scotch, again, Macallan's like the highest end crap, and those like Macallan stuff is true. I don't know why. I tell my wife all the time, I should have bought years ago. Macallan 21 was $400 a bottle, and I told her right then, I go, I should buy 2 bottles of this. I should buy one for myself, and I should just buy one to put aside. I didn't, either one of them, so I kicked myself in the ass for that. But if you can get you an 18 or better, 25s, don't even buy 25s like $2,000 a bottle. It's stupid.
I ain't doing that. I ain't doing that.
Stupid. You got to be like LeBron James. You got to be those guys who buy 25, 30-year bottles of Scotch. But if you can get an 18-year bottle of Scotch or 21, yeah, it's good stuff. It's the best. I'm definitely a Scotch guy. I'm not really a bourbon guy anymore. I wasn't when I was a kid, but Scotch is good.
I usually go with the Honey Jack, but I know that's not.
That's fantastic. I'm not gonna lie.
That's what I had last year. I love the Honey Jack. So
you can't go wrong with that. If you like that, I just made it a Scotch thing because I get Scotch anyway. I really only drank this like on Thanksgiving
Yeah.
Christmas Eve and Christmas Day. Like Christmas Eve, I always did a Christmas Eve. Like after my wife went to sleep. Now, when my wife and kid go to sleep, I like to just sit there with a bottle of scotch or bottle of scotch, a glass of scotch. Bottle. I mean, dead. A glass of scotch. I turn all lights off. I just put the fireplace on, Christmas tree, throw a little Sinatra on, and I just take it all in. I love Christmas. I especially with a 5-year-old. I freaking love Christmas. I hate the winter, but I love Christmas. So I just take that's how that started. And then, Philly 500 always did the victory cigar. And I'm like, you know what? I'm going to one up your ass. I'm going to do a victory scotch. So that's how that happened. So that started in 2020. And I went through a lot of it. 6 wins is a lot for the Giants. I'd like to finish that bottle this year.
I hope you do. I hope you finish it live on stream when we win the Super Bowl.
Right. That'd be fantastic.
Irishman, thank you very much. He says, Chris, full disclosure, my last super chat was a quote from Top Gun. Oh, I wasn't even thinking about movies when you sent it. That's why I was talking about that. Maybe I was trying to get what you meant in terms of the Giants. Let me go back and read the quote and see how dumb I was, because it's probably obvious it was from Top Gun. One second. Let me see. You said, where are you? I'm going to find you.
I'm find you.
I'm sure it's something that is obvious. Here it is. A good pilot, who's Top Gun right out of the gate, is compelled to evaluate what's happened so she or he can apply what he's learned. Up there, you have to push it. Of course, push it to the limit. Don't be afraid to push it. I should have picked up on it. I was thinking about the Giants Irish Rover, but thank you very much. Meant the young man asking for starting up a YouTube site. Don't be afraid. Listen, if you ever want something to motivate you, go and watch Top Gun. Go and watch Rocky. And that'll push you to the limit. That'll get you.
I told you, man. If you ever want to succeed, you can't be afraid to fail. That's just what it is. No, there's so many guys that are millionaire. Do you think Elon Musk succeeded right from day one?
Of course not.
They all fail, and then they figure it out. The thing is, you need to learn from your failures. That's why when people are like, "Oh, you were wrong about this," or "You made a mistake," you just have to learn from. You're going to make mistakes. It's just you're human, man. I've never understood why people act like they've never made a mistake or they've never been wrong. You're full of shit. Yeah, every human being on the face of the planet has been wrong and will be wrong again. Every single one. Everyone's going to make a mistake. Everybody. That's to err is to be human. Nobody's perfect. The ones that believe they are perfect, like I said, that is an insecurity complex, and you just gotta say, I'm wrong. Who cares? Oh, that hurt my ego. I'm wrong. I don't give a shit. I'm wrong all the time. I told you I'm married. Any married guy out there right now in my shoes is gonna tell you, yeah, I'm always wrong. I'm married. Where's Roldy? I didn't see him in there tonight. Yeah. Roldy will tell you.
Michael Judge says, we can win. Just have to believe, baby. 42-10 Giants. Michael Judge, I've been trying that my whole life. It usually hasn't worked over the last 5 or 6 years, but I'm going to take your advice. I'm going to predict it right now. If that's what it takes for the Giants to win, Giants are going to win on Sunday.
I'm not going to predict 42-10. We might win 12-10.
We're going to win. We're going to win. I don't care if we win 2-0. Giants.
Well, I'm saying we might win 12-10. I can see that one. I can see 4 field goals.
I'm gonna take his advice, and I'm gonna pray that he's right, Mike.
Pick 6, a field goal, and a safety. Wink Martindale gets it done. We win 12-10.
All right. I see Authentic was popping out. Have a great rest of your night, Authentic, man. Thanks for being here, buddy. Reality in the chat says bold prediction: the New York Giants will be alone in first after week 1.
That would be amazing.
That would mean that Washington has to lose to the Jaguars, the Eagles have to lose to the Lions, the Cowboys will probably lose to the Bucs, and the Giants will win.
If that happened, I won't shut up all week.
That's very
not that I shut up anyway, but I definitely won't shut up.
That's very bold.
Yeah, that'd be fun. I hope that happens.
Joseph says the biggest advantage for the Giants is there's nothing on tape for the Titans defense to prepare for. That's true. But also, you could argue it's their biggest disadvantage, at least in my opinion, in the sense that they have never played in these schemes before, and they're still going to be wet behind the ears learning it. But yes, you could look at it that way if you're trying to think optimistically that the Titans don't know what type of offense we're going to run. We run a vanilla playbook week 1, and hopefully we catch them by surprise. And maybe
we have to execute no matter what the hell we do.
You
can't make mistakes. That's a big thing, but. I mean, there's a way, listen, man, these guys do a lot of film study. They'll be looking at Kafka in Kansas City. They'll look at some things Kansas City did. They'll look at some things Buffalo did. But yeah, how that translates to what the Giants do and how they use their players, they don't. They have tape on the players. They don't have tape on the these players using this scheme. But like Chris said, it also could hamper us because our players aren't really familiar with it either. So we'll see.
Big Daddy, man, thank you so much, man. He's awesome. He says, we can win, but we probably will not.
I agree with that.
That's the statement of the night.
I agree with that one.
But nobody's saying we can't win, but we probably won't.
No, I'm sure there's been people in the chat that we got no chance.
No, there's always a chance, especially in football.
Yeah, but there's people saying we got no chance.
Yeah, I know there's a chance. There's a chance.
Big Daddy's right. Big Daddy said it.
Like what
we can win, but we probably won't.
Yeah, what I'll say, Bad Dog, is what was a less probable win going in? This or the Seahawks game in Seattle when we played Russell Wilson?
That was definitely.
This or the Chicago Bears game when the Bears went 12-4 that year. When we ended up beating that.
Mark had a big one there too.
That was a huge upset, right? So it can happen even with a really bad football team. Hopefully we're not a really bad football team, but it can happen.
Definitely.
So it can happen. But
like I said, I'm glad we're not playing like the Packers. This is a winnable game. I agree. It's just because of Tennessee's experience. I like them like I said, an ugly game. I think that this game is close throughout, and I think that the Tennessee just wins at the very end. Like I could see them having I could see this game being 13-13 with about 5 minutes to go, and Tennessee just has a really good drive, and they go down, they score touchdowns, 20-13. We get the ball back with like a minute 30, and Daniel Jones gets us down to like the 40, the 35, and we just don't get it in. Like that's what I can see. Like I think it's that close. I don't think they're blowing us out. I hope it goes the other way. I hope we're the ones that go down and score late, or knowing our luck. Ryan and somebody mentions might have been Tim and online people. Knowing our luck, we're ahead 14-13, 17-13. Tannehill gets hurt. Leak Willis comes in, drives down for a touchdown. That's the type of crap that would happen to us. That's the type of crap that happens to us.
Yeah.
But I want to drink that scotch, so let's win.
I'm going to want to take a victory shot on Sunday too.
Yeah, let's do it. Yeah, no shots of scotch, so you sip that. You sip it. You don't. Yeah, you don't. Yeah. Don't know shooters of scotch.
No shooters. I'm going to
enjoy it, but you got to be on the rocks. So I don't know how people drink that warm. Like I can't drink warm.
I will have a victory scotch. I will sip it if we win on Sunday.
Chris and I are both having victory scotches.
I will sip it nice and slow.
Make it happen.
I will savor
one
that
time.
And Gray says, glad to have the stream back. Thank you so much for being here, buddy. Yeah, we're going to be live. I think your channel, right? This week, the game. So we're going to be live on Bad Dogs on Sunday for the game. I meant to mention that earlier, but you guys know Bad Dogs.
Well, I figured we start a little early. It's week 1. I'm thinking maybe 3:45. Normally we're like 15 minutes before the game, but it's week 1. Maybe 3:45 we'll go. Yeah. We're going to go to the gym, do legs.
Yeah.
Come home, eat a big-ass breakfast, take a shower.
Yeah. Yeah,
I get with that. With my buddy, did you watch my? Did you watch this video?
No, which video? No, I saw the thumbnail today. I'm gonna watch.
Go watch it.
I saw.
I say some pretty nice things about you.
I'm definitely gonna check it.
I like you a little bit.
I
say some pretty nice things about you.
No, I'm definitely gonna check that out. I saw.
You can skip the rest of it. Just get to your part. I don't know.
No, I'm gonna. It was what. I think it was like 26, 27 minutes, somewhere like that. I saw the thumbnail today because you popped up on my YouTube recommended. I'm like, I'll check that out when I get a chance. So I'm gonna
because I've said. I mean, I say this all the time. Working with you these last 5 years, it's been a blessing. It really has. It's been the Giants are such a train wreck, but I look forward to this so much, Chris. I look forward to. Doing this show with you. I love this show. I love our chat. I love the Giants fans, whether they agree or they don't agree. I love them. I love their passion. I think we're the best fan base on YouTube. We have gone through the most shit, and I say it all. The Giants community continues to grow. The support's always overwhelming and amazing. And doing the Giants games with you and having the chat there, even when we've been so bad, it's bearable. Like if I was doing it by myself, I would never been able to make it through that. But I love it because we have so much fun, even when we suck. I'm
going to be dead honest with you, Bad Dog. I would not want to do those games by myself.
It's tough.
Now if the Giants are winning, that's a different story. Anybody can come on here, by
Yeah, it's easy when you're
celebrate
winning.
when the Giants are winning. But as bad as the Giants have been the last 3-4 years, yeah, it's fun to have somebody else to share my misery with.
It's just like I said, it's been awesome, and it just I tell the story about everything that happened. So yeah, check it out. It's pretty good. But I speak pretty highly, and as well I should. I mean, everybody should. I mean, you're the man. I don't know what else to say. I love working with you, and like I said, you can watch it. I'm not gonna.
Don't ruin it.
I'm not ruining it. I'm not gonna spoil it for you.
I'll definitely check it out tomorrow. Well, for sure. And I meant to watch it today actually, but I got caught up. But I'm definitely gonna watch it. Yeah. And congratulations, I got the plaque, man. That's awesome. So
I did, yes.
Congratulations.
The kid's official now. YouTube can't take the subscribers away from me. It doesn't even matter if they do. No.
That's awesome. Man.
Actually, we got to 101,000, so we're good. I don't think YouTube's gonna mess me up on that one.
And Alien says both of our New York teams took a Florida easy beating today, but I can't wait for Sunday. I think the Giants can definitely pull up the upset. I sure hope so.
Both teams lost to Florida teams today.
Yeah, they did. The Mets lost to the Marlins.
Yeah, I'm gonna go off on Aaron Hicks. Yeah, that's gonna.
And the Braves are gonna win. They're up 6-3 on the Mariners. So the Mets are. I think the last time they weren't in first place was in in April. It's been that long. They're about.
Yeah, it's been it's been a long time.
So they're about to give up first place tonight to the Braves, and I think we got 23 games to play, and we're making the playoffs. We're going to at least be a wild card, but not the Mets don't look good going into the playoffs. They need to turn that around.
But the Braves are good.
Braves are really
defending champions.
Really good. But yeah, Mets and Yankees both playing horrible right now. Irish Rover, man, thank you very much. Chris, try the proper number 12 Irish whiskey. All right, I'm going to write that down.
Yeah. I certainly can't drink the way I used to. I'm old, man. You young kids live it up, but I'm not saying go out and get plastered all the time, but live it up when you're 21, 22, 23. Have fun. You young ones. And trust me, you can stay in the best shape of your life even when you are old like me, but your body is still 46 when you're 46. You don't recover the way you used to. You can't just drink all night, wake up and be like, oh, hungover, take a shower. Yep, ready to go do it again. When you're 46, it lasts 3 days. It's
yeah, I definitely can't drink the way I used to either. It is what it is as you get older.
I remember the one that you did when they played the Bears and you were drunk.
I was hammered beyond belief.
That was a good one. That was the Saquon Barkley game, wasn't it?
That was I think it was. I think it was. Yes. And I was hammered beyond belief during that game.
That was a good one.
Grim Sillo, he says Kentucky versus Florida must watch tomorrow. Richardson, we talked about that earlier, versus Will Levy are possibly top 10 quarterback talents, high-end traits for both of them. Yeah, I mean, right now, if you go on any mock draft, both of them are in the top 4 or 5 at the quarterback position. So everybody's going to have their eyes glued to that game, not just Giants fans, but just NFL fans in general.
I think I like Anthony Richardson better than Levis. Any guy that puts mayonnaise in his coffee is not okay with me. So. As much as I don't like Florida quarterbacks, I'll take AR-15 over mayonnaise coffee any day. I
don't think I've seen highlights of Levis, but I don't think I've seen him in game action yet. So I'll be excited.
I'll be honest. I watch the SEC a lot, but Kentucky's not the top of my list.
Exactly.
When it comes to SEC teams, definitely pay more time. I mean, I did watch a couple of Kentucky games, but I wasn't really paying much attention to how Levis performed because I didn't think much of it. Now I obviously will. Like I said, the Kentucky-Florida game, it should be a good game anyway. Right. But the fact that both of those guys could be wearing Giants blue next year, it takes on a whole new meaning for me. I mean, I'm like I said, I got a day off at the gym tomorrow. I've done everything. I just got to go Sunday morning. I ain't doing anything more. I'm waking up late, having my big breakfast,
enjoying some college football,
sitting my ass on a couch. Oh, except for maybe for dinner, I'll go out because it's my cheat night. So I might go out and just went to Chili's last week. I might do that again. That was pretty good. Chips and salsa. I had Dos Equis. Okay. I had some chicken, bacon, ranch, quesadilla.
Can't beat
French
that.
Fries. Oh, it's good. I don't know what the hell I want, though. I want Chinese food. I don't know what the hell I want. I know I'm watching a lot of college football, though. I know that.
Yeah.
And then I'm ready for I'm ready for the Giants, baby. And we're ready to go. The weekend's here, so you had to blink your eyes, and the Giants are going to be playing. I just hate that we play at 4. Like, I hate the delay. I hate it.
I hate the 4 o'clock.
I hate the 4 o'clock to open the season.
I hate it. I'm with you.
But
I
now, the 9 o'clock in the morning when we play in Green Bay and London, that ain't gonna bother me. I got to get up a little early. Okay. I'm done by noon, 12:30. Whole day ahead of me. Whole day to hold that L.
T, thank you very much. She says, I say the team with the lowest total third down plus turnovers minus sacks made wins. That's a good formula. You're probably right with that. Last night, the Bills 10 plus 4 minus 7 equals 7. Rams 13 plus 3 minus 2 equals 14. How many of each will both teams get on Sunday? Oh, wow. Third down. When you say third downs, I'm assuming you mean third down conversions. That's what I'm assuming you mean because, so third down conversions. I don't know. I'll go with 5 for the Giants. I'll go with 7 for the Titans. Turnovers, I'll go with 1 apiece. Sacks made, I think the Titans own us in that, especially with our 2 edge rushers.
4-1.
Yeah, I'll go 4-1 Titans. I like that one. That's what I'll go with. T. So obviously we know we're picking the Titans, but hopefully we're wrong.
I think the Titans will convert a lot on third down because of Derrick Henry. I can see them having 12 or 11, 12, 13. I would love us to convert third downs. That's something we've been really, really, really bad at. It's because you can't run the ball, man. And running the ball is so damn important. I want to say no, you know what the hell? We're converting 8 third downs tomorrow. We're going to be like 8 of 16. That's right. I said it. You know what? I do these stupid. I'm talking myself right into a win. I'm an idiot. I'm talking myself right into us winning. I am. I'm talking myself right into having a glass of scotch after that game. And when I did the prediction with Josh in the sports tree, I did end up picking us to beat Carolina because I've been picking us to beat Carolina the entire year, but I was trying to talk myself into a loss there because I don't know what the hell the Giants are going to be. I really don't. I have no clue. That's why I'm anxious. I don't know if I'd say excited, but like I'm anxious. I want to know what we are. I'm curious what this looks like. And the first week will only tell us a little bit, but it's going to tell us a lot more than we know right now.
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course. Dart, man. Thank you very much, man. 50K 24-hour stream. Yeah. We got about another, I don't know. I don't even know where I'm at. I didn't look recently. I think I'm a little over 43K. So maybe by the end of the football season, you'll get that. And I don't think I'll probably ever hit that. But if I do, that'd be great.
You will definitely hit it.
We'll see. But regardless.
Speaking of 24-hour streams, I think my guy Pigskin, I don't know if that's tonight or tomorrow. Pigskin Pete going to attempt a 24-hour stream starting at 10 p.m. Again, I don't know if that started tonight or tomorrow, but
10 p.m. That's a random time.
Told him good luck.
Why would you do it at 10 p.m.?
So you can go to sleep at 10 p.m.
Oh, yeah. Okay. That makes sense. Okay.
I just, like I said, I go when I wake up in the morning until 9 in the morning, and then I just take like a nap 4 or 5 hours, and then I'm ready to go to sleep at 10. So it was just easier for me to do that.
And NY Giants 26 is, I think whoever scores the most will win. You're probably
that's some John Madden analysis.
You think I don't know if he's right about that. I think he's right.
I mean, yeah. I mean, usually if you score the most points, you win. I mean, that's just what it goes. You get some points.
Now this is the Giants.
This is true, but usually if you get more points than our team, and win. You go into the end zone, you get 7 points. Our team gets 3. You get 3, they get 3. It's 10-6, and you get 7, and they get 3. It's 17-9. You end up winning the game. You put your right foot in, take your right foot out. You put your left foot in, take a left foot out, shake it all about. Boom! Giants win the game.
By your impersonation of John Madden, I feel like I'm in 3rd grade math.
I think I had it right, didn't
I? No, but I'm learning basic math. That's what John Madden was good at.
Yeah, he was. He was good at that. I can teach. Well, listen, math is a lot of my job is math. So I'm pretty good at that. So.
And Dyer, man, thank you very much. He says, "Cause you didn't read it, 100. I thought I did read it. 100K is a matter of when. Oh, maybe I didn't read it properly. I appreciate it, man. I appreciate all the support, Dyer, and everybody else. that you guys always show on the channel. And
yeah, but why stop at the silver one? See, I say this. Listen, this is 100,000. So all 100,000 people that subscribe, you just need to get 10 of your friends to subscribe. 10. 10 not even friends, 10 people you know, and we can get a gold one. It's so easy. Just tell everybody you know. Hey, you Giants fans, you football fans, you gotta watch Chris and the Baddog. You gotta watch Chris and the Baddog. You gotta go into their streams, even if you don't want to look at them. Just talk to the chat. The chat is great.
Yeah, exactly.
Even Lily will tell you we have faces for.
Oh, the chat is much better than we are.
The chat's way better.
Yeah, I would tune in just for the chat, not us.
I do. I don't tune in for the Giants anymore. I tune in for the.
Yeah, the chat makes it go, man.
We got the best chat on YouTube. We do. That's not even close. We
got a Titans fan in here. He says, "Tighten up." I think we're gonna win 28-13, but it will be a good game in the first half. It's not a horror. I mean, I'm not. If I was a Titans fan, I'd feel the same way. So.
Yeah, I mean, I've said this before. Giants fans are like, we got an easier schedule, and I say everybody looks at us and goes, "Oh, we got the Giants. That's a win."
You guys should feel like you're going to beat us.
So. And you guys should beat us. Let's be honest.
Yeah. Especially at home, but hopefully we surprise you, man.
Doesn't mean you will. Doesn't mean you will win, but you should, because this is right. This is right here. This is ready. This is I didn't even realize it's blue until I just pulled it out here. I mean, I bought it and I wasn't even making the connection. This is blue. No more blues for Giants fans. Yeah. It's probably gonna be a long year, but the hell with it. I don't care if we don't win a game. I'm having a lot of fun this year. I don't care.
Mel says inside linebacker's decision was ludicrous. They're going to need help. Martinez would have claimed the injury. See, the thing is, Mel's, I'm not going to get on them for that. And I know a lot of Giants fans are. Martinez, I think that was much more on Martinez's end than the Giants. I don't think that was a Giants decision. I think that was a Martinez decision. I don't think Martinez felt – I don't know that for a fact. I'm assuming. I'm speculating. But everything points to the fact that the Giants did not want to cut Blake Martinez. They accepted if they would have cut him before the offseason started, they would have saved an additional $2 million. So I think with the pay cut that he initially was willing to take, I think the Giants want him to be on the team. They're very young in that linebacking core. He doesn't fit the scheme particularly well, but I think that was more of a Martinez decision than a Giants decision. Mm-hmm. Let's see. I think it's going to be raining, so I don't expect us to pass a lot. Yeah, I heard that. I heard that I didn't
even if it was perfect, I wouldn't expect you to pass a lot. You got Derrick Henry. There's not much reason to pass a lot.
Let me look at the Tennessee weather right now. I'm just curious, but I did.
Let me go run to the bathroom.
Yeah. I'm curious. I'm going to get the Tennessee weather report for Sunday. Sunday they got thunderstorms, and we're teeing off at I don't know what time their time. I'm going to guess it's. 3 p.m. their time or 4? I don't even know. But yeah, rain is in the fork at a 70% chance right around that time. It's 80% chance. So yeah, it looks like there's a decent chance it's going to rain. I don't know if that benefits us or hurts us because also it makes it probably harder for us to throw the football, right? So that may actually be worse for the Giants because you guys have the stronger run attack. So we'll see. But yeah, that definitely could be a factor in this game for sure. That's a good point, Joe. To my knowledge, nobody has signed Blake Martinez quite yet. And maybe it was injury related as well. Maybe he was not fully recovered from that injury. Who knows? But good point. To my knowledge, nobody's picked him up yet. Yeah, Michael, at least that's what it says. And the weather could change. We all know that weathermen don't know their ass from their elbows half the time, but the weather could change. But right now, I think it says about a 50%. About a 70 or 80% chance of rain right around game time. Derrick says, any chance DJ has a pretty good year, but the team is bad and we re-sign Jones for cheap and still draft a quarterback? No. If we're drafting a quarterback, Derrick, I don't think Jones is back. I don't see that even as a possibility. I see there's at least a slight possibility Jones is back. But if Jones is back next year, I think it's because we're not drafting a quarterback. That's why I think you signed Tyrod Taylor. They signed Taylor to a 2-year deal. Next year, they can't get out of the contract. It's like a $5 million dead cap hit, with the known possibility that if they draft the quarterback, he's the backup. So I don't really foresee a scenario where we keep Jones and draft a quarterback. Personally, I think you use that money that you would pay Jones and fill in another area of need on the football team if you're drafting a quarterback. That's My opinion on the matter. I don't really see that being an option.
The one thing I'll say about the weather, like I don't think rain is a big deal. Wind is usually a bigger deal for a quarterback. So the ball may be a little bit slick, but I think a quarterback has a much better opportunity to succeed in the rain than it being windy. Like you get the MetLife Stadium, especially the old Meadowlands. You got there in December, and he had like sleet and snow, and it's 20-mile-an-hour winds off the Hudson. That's a tough place to.
And the wind isn't bad. I'm looking at it now.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The wind plays tricks the ball. You can throw the ball through the rain.
It's gonna be 6-mile-an-hour winds, so that's not a factor.
I think they'll be okay. But I do think both teams will want to run the ball anyway. But I say the Titans will. That's their game. We don't know what the hell the Giants are going to do.
I think the Giants will try to run. I just don't know if they're going to be successful doing it.
See though, who knows? Maybe they're like they expect us to run. But we're going to have Jones come out and throw a bunch of quick passes.
Yeah. Dyer says, how much of a difference would this make if we had Bradbury instead of zero production, Kenny Golladay? Not a ton. It would help. I'm not saying it wouldn't help, but I don't think they viewed Bradbury. Obviously, I don't think they viewed Bradbury as a guy that was going to be here long term. I know that the main reason why we didn't bring him back this year was because of his contract, but Bradbury doesn't really fit this defense. He's more of a zone corner. He's not really known to be a great man press cover corner. So I don't think he would have been in the long-term interest of this team for this year. Yeah, I think we're a better team with Bradbury as opposed to Kenny Golladay if we didn't sign him. But I don't think it makes us a Super Bowl team or even a playoff team by any stretch of the imagination. Bradbury kind of fell off a little bit last year. He's still a good corner. I'm not trying to say he's trash. He's not. But I think the Giants viewed him, and I agree with them. I don't view him as a guy that's a great fit for this defense. Fabian says, no worries. We carbon copy in Buffalo. Mark my word. You got to find your Josh Allen.
I was going to say, we don't have the talent of Buffalo.
You got to find your Josh Allen. And
Buffalo's got pretty good talent. We got to find a Stephon Diggs, too.
Yeah, got to find a Stephon Diggs. Do you see that D-line? Dude.
Yeah, Von Miller plays like the best teams. He's like Deion Sanders. He just goes to the best teams there is.
Von Miller, man, what a difference he makes, man. And I'll tell you what, man, Ed Oliver, awesome. He was getting consistent pressure in the middle all night. That was a guy I really liked. I think in 2018 or 2019, he ended up going. I think that was the year we took Jones, if I'm not mistaken. Oliver went to the Bills. He looked awesome. Greg Rousseau looked really good. The Bills D-line is awesome. And hopefully we can build a team like them. Irish Rover says, I think DJ is gone. Why would the GM say DJ is our guy and then go to the Ohio State game to scout CJ Stroud? I mean, you can look at it that way, Irish Rover. You could also look at it like any GM should be at that game. It's not just for CJ Stroud. I mean, the Ohio State was playing Notre Dame. I mean, you could argue probably 15 potential first-round picks were playing in that game. So I'm sure he was looking at CJ Stroud, and that's obviously going to get the headlines, but he wasn't just looking at CJ Stroud. I mean, you got some of the best wide receivers in the country on Ohio State. You got some great defensive players on Notre Dame. So there's a lot of good prospects in that game. I agree with you. I'm not predicting that Jones will be back, but that has nothing to do with why I feel that way.
The one thing I'll say, Irish, is I think when he's saying DJ is a guy, he means this year. I think he meant this year. They're not going to look for a quote like when all these Jimmy Garoppolo rumors are coming out. I think, as you're saying, Tyrod Taylor's not starting. He's a backup. We're not going to look for Jimmy Garoppolo. We're not drafting a quarterback. We're going into this year. I was going to say DJ, Daniel Jones is our guy for 2022. And going forward, we'll see. But this year, he's their guy. I think that's what they meant. And yeah, Joe Shane has his own scouts now. He wasn't here last year, so it was old Dave Gettleman scouts. Now, it doesn't mean that Shane didn't scout players, because he did, but he didn't scout them for the Giants. So this year he's got his own guys. And yeah, you're probably going to, like Chris said, they're going to be scouting Ohio State. You're going to scout Alabama, Georgia, Oklahoma. You're going to scout your bigger teams for sure.
Naturally, Stroud's going to draw the attention from the fan base because he's a sexy quarterback pick when they know we may be taking one. But I don't think he's there just to look at a quarterback. I mean, Ohio State was one of the top.
They got good wide receivers. We could use number one. Listen, hopefully we're picking late enough in the draft that we do take a number one wide receiver. Yeah. Although I don't want to be bad. I don't want to be bad in 2023. But I want Caleb Williams from USC. That's my guy. I wish you could come out this year, man. Dude, 18 for 21. That guy is so good. Caleb Williams.
That's the guy you want?
Yeah, but we're not going to get him. He's a sophomore.
Yeah.
Not only has he got incredible skill, the kid is so smart. Just the instincts as a true freshman in Oklahoma. He was so good. Man.
I remember last year. Yeah, people were going crazy about
Love Caleb Williams.
T, thank you so much. That's what you meant when you were talking about the stats. I thought you meant third down conversions. All third downs, Warren Sharp says, avoid them to win. So who do I think will see more third downs in the game on Sunday? That is so hard to predict. I think both teams are going to see a lot of third downs just because of the nature of the type of style of play that the Titans have, right? They run the ball a lot. So I think the more important number when it comes to third downs, because I think both teams are going to see a lot of third downs, is what is the average distance of those third downs? Who is seeing less third and longs? That is a huge key, at least in my opinion, not just in this game, but in any game. Third and short is a lot. Third and 2, third and 3 is a lot different than a 3rd and 7 or a 3rd and 8. Not all third downs are created equal, but I think both teams will see a ton of third downs. I guess if I had to guess, maybe the Titans see a little bit more just because of their style of play, but that's very hard for me to predict.
Yeah, it is hard. Titans also may see more just because their drives last longer than ours.
They last longer.
Now, we could be going 3 and out. They could convert 3 third downs on one drive.
Yeah, exactly. If you asked me who's going to have longer drives, probably the Titans.
I would think so too.
Which may, I guess, lend itself to more third downs. So, Plaque, man, thank you very much, man. Missed you guys. Excited? I'm always excited. It's NFL season. I'm always excited, man. So, yeah, for sure, man. I thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for all the support. We miss you too, man. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you to everybody for being here. We appreciate it, man. We do. Yeah. We really do. And we'll be live on Bad Dogs on Sunday, and we'll be doing the show.
Very excited.
So thank you so much for being here. Then it will be very close to you. I hope you're right. I think
it is going to be close.
I don't think we'll get blown out. I don't think we'll get blown out. Evan says, "Who do you think will get the ball first?"
Giants.
Know what Vrabel's tendencies are in terms of kicking off or receiving.
They all defer.
Yeah, usually
every team defers.
So here's what I'll ask you, Bad Dog. Not who will get it, because that's a coin flip. What do you want?
Legitimately.
Do you want the ball first?
I want the ball first.
You want the ball first.
I want to see who the hell our offense is.
You want the ball first. Yeah.
I want the ball first. I want the ball first. I want to go down and score. I want to go up 7-0. I want to put Tennessee behind.
Yeah.
I don't think they're very good. You get them behind. I mean, early in the game, it ain't going to matter. But if you can get ahead late in the game and they can't use Derrick Henry, that's going to benefit the Giants. So give the ball to the offense.
Yeah, I'm in agreement with you. One, just because I'm so anxious to see the offense, to see the new offense as a fan. But from the game, I agree with you. The Titans are the type of team that is very hard to come back against. So you don't want to be playing from behind against the Tennessee Titans. Right. So yes, I agree with you. I prefer to have the ball first. If I'm the Giants, I think I take it if I win the coin toss.
Yep.
But we're down to 2 guys on our yeah. I say Titans win the toss and they defer to the Giants. Okay. Titans will run Henry down 17 points.
I hope they're down 17 points.
Yeah, exactly.
I hope they're down.
Joe says 90% of NFL games are one in. I think you meant to say one in the fourth quarter. The NFL is a fourth quarter game. I think the NFL not just is a fourth quarter game. Of course it is, Joe. I think it's an end of nearly just as much as crucial as the fourth quarter is the end of the first half, I should say. And we saw that last year as New York Giants fans. We were the worst team by far in the NFL closing out halves. And that is huge. And hopefully we're much better in that area this year. So you could have 10-point swings in the final 2 or 3 minutes of a first half, just the way that the game ends. If you can't pick up a first down, you end up punting, they end up getting a touchdown from it. So the way you close out a half is nearly as important as the fourth quarter itself. But yeah, of course, the fourth quarter is always the most important quarter. 23-20 Giants win. I sure hope so, amazing guy, man.
Yeah, if we're gonna win, that's the type of score we'd win by.
Yeah,
I can see that happening.
23-20. Yep. You're really talking yourself into this, aren't you, man?
I'm trying.
So you don't
say I'm trying. I'm doing a damn good job of it.
Yeah. So you guys, you
It
don't
happens to me
necessarily
every year. It
believe
happens to me every year. I doesn't matter. Every time we get to this point, every time we get to Friday, I feel like we can win the damn game.
I hope you're right, man. And Franco said, yeah, I've seen you write this a couple times, so I wanted to pull it up. Did you guys hear about the story of a Giants team member that came forward and told that McKinney was yelling at the team last year at the Bears game? Shows like I did not. Franco.
I did. Somebody sent me that on Instagram. I think it's a guy that's like a McKinney fan because they know I'm a McKinney fan. So yeah, it read that he told the offense fix it. This is embarrassing. That was the game we had minus 10 yards passing. So Kenny's a leader, man. Listen, I said I don't buy a lot of Giants jerseys. If I buy a Giants jersey, it's because I really think highly of the player. And I bought a McKinney jersey for a reason. That's my guy. So I think he could have a Pro Bowl season easily. And I kind of expect him to. And I think he's part of the reason Blake Martinez isn't here anymore. Because he was calling a lot of the defense in the preseason. I think that Daboll and Shane, or Wink Martindale said, "Okay, kid, you got it."
Yeah, I definitely think he's going to be. It's hard to predict who's going to make a Pro Bowl. I definitely think he's going to have a Pro Bowl type season.
He should have made the Pro Bowl last year.
Yeah, I think he's going to have a big year this year. I think he fits this defense very well. David says, "How many yards do you guys think Barkley will have?" I don't know if you mean for the year in this game. I also don't know if you mean scrimmage yards. I don't think he's going to have a ton of rushing yards. But again, Saquon Barkley is such a tough player to predict for on a game-to-game basis because he's the type of player that could have 20 yards with 3 minutes to go in the game and then break a 70-yard run. Yeah, that's the type of player he is. But I don't think he's going to have a ton of rushing yards in this game. That doesn't mean he won't have a ton of yards. I could see him being featured a lot in the passing game in a game like this. So very hard for me to predict. For the year, I think he's going to have a huge year if he plays 17 games. I've said that all off season, and it's what I believe. I could have egg on my face, but if he stays healthy, I think Barkley's going to have a big year. I think you're going to see him. I won't go as far to say identical to his rookie year, but close. I think he's going to have a big year. But in this game, I see him struggling running the football. Not just him, just the Giants in general. But I mean, the Titans have probably the best run defense in all football. So I think we'll struggle there. But I think they're going to try to get him out in open space and use him in the passing game. So I could still see him having over 100 all-purpose yards. I just don't think he's going to do a ton of damage on the ground.
Yeah, I can see Barkley having like 17 carries for 45 yards, something like that. And maybe another 6 catches for like 70 yards. I do think they're going to get – I mean, they've said that they're going to make a concerted effort to get Barkley involved in the passing game. And I think that's especially true the beginning of the year when this offensive line has no chemistry. I think you want to get the ball out of Daniel Jones's hands fast. Get the ball into the hands of your playmakers. I would expect a lot of passes to Saquon Barkley. He's a playmaker. A lot of quick passes to Kadarius Toney. He's a playmaker. I don't expect Kenny Golladay to be a big part of this game because I don't expect to see Daniel Jones doing a lot of 7-step drops. I don't expect to see that. But who knows? Maybe it is. Maybe that's what Kafka has them do. Maybe they take a ton of shots down the field early on, try to loosen up the defense, and then try to hit him with the run. I have no idea. That's why I'm so anxious to see what direction our offense goes this year. I just know it can't be worse than that clown show we had here last year. That I do know.
Yeah, for sure.
No toilet paper roll playbook this year. No.
And Joseph said, yeah, well, of course, Joe. It only makes sense. It's amazing how many athletes in all sports have good years going into their walk season. That's part of the reason why I think Barkley's going to have a huge year. He's got more, not to say Barkley to me doesn't come across the type of guy that needs a contract year in order to have a big year. I think his work ethic is off the charts. So I'm not accusing him of that. I don't think he's one of those athletes that is going to have a big year because of his contract year, but it's added incentive. The main reason why I'm as high on Barkley this year as I am is not because he's in a contract year. It's because he's another year removed from that ACL tear. And I think he fits this offensive scheme very well. But yeah, I mean, you see it all the time. You saw Leonard Williams do it. He had 11.5 sacks, right? The year that the New York Giants made him prove it when they gave him the franchise tag or whatever it was. And he had 11.5 sacks. He got a mega deal because of it. But it happens all the time in all sports. King Jaws says, hey, Bad Dog, is your wife a fan of the Giants?
She's indifferent. When the Giants were up here in Albany, she was a big fan because we went all the time and watched them and interacted with them and everything. So she was she was definitely more of a fan. I would say I met her in 2000. So I would say the first couple of years, she definitely was not. Yankee fan, yes. Football, I would say probably 2000. By the time Eli got there, I think she, was a big fan of the Giants until they left here in 2012. I think once they left, she kind of just didn't care. I think them being here made her a fan. Not like she was a diehard fan, but she'd watch the games. I mean, she would cheer for the Giants. Now she couldn't care less.
Yeah.
Yankee fan, yes. She still roots for the Yankees. She was never a football person when I met her until, like I said, until I started bringing her to training camp. And then one of the women she worked with, like her father, had connections with the Giants. So we did fundraising stuff with some of the Giants. Nobody huge, like Prince Amukamara might have been the biggest name. And there was Devon Kennard. And I always tell a story about Josh Brown as a Lion scumbag. Andre Williams, the kid out of Boston College. Yeah. So like we met guys like that. David Tyree. Like I said, it's not like we hung out with Eli Manning or Michael Strahan or anybody, but it was still pretty cool.
That's awesome. Xerox says, evening, gents. Very excited. My prediction, first play of the game, 7-yard slant completion to Kenny Golladay. Let's effing go.
I would love a completion to Kenny Golladay.
It would be nice. It would be nice to see Golladay catch a couple balls. The fan base has been all over him. I hope so, man. I hope he has a big game, and maybe he gets a little pressure up his back, and he's gonna need to produce this year. Otherwise, he's gonna hear about it. And Jaden says, "Can I get a shout out?" You just got it, man. Thank you so much for popping in. We're gonna close this out in about 5 minutes, but appreciate all you guys for being here. Thank you guys for all the support you guys always show. I will be live later today. Now it's midnight. Doing my my night before stream that I've done the last couple of years. So I'm looking forward to that. And obviously we're going to be on Bad Dogs for the game on Sunday. So obviously swing on by for that. And hopefully
and then of course I'll probably, hopefully not, but we always have the Monday night therapy sessions.
Yeah. Well,
that's also been a thing the last couple of years. So it'd be nice to have a victory Monday. Those are good too.
Yeah. Victory Monday would be a lot better than a victory therapy session.
But that's usually whatever it's been.
David says, Chris, do you think the Mets are in trouble? Yes, I do. We're still making the playoffs, but for me, obviously I want to win the division. It's a huge advantage if you do. You get the bye, you avoid the Dodgers until the NLCS. But right now, more importantly, I just want the Mets to get back to playing good baseball. We're going
Afghanistan says, I met Prince Amukamara. He was a strange man. Bad Dog 2018. He was, man. He was an interesting guy. Because I always remember asking about the Super Bowl. He said he was more excited to meet Katy Perry. I just thought that was the weirdest thing for a football player to say. He didn't care about the game. He cared more about meeting Katy Perry. Also, because I want to say he was from Nigeria, and he had a bunch of sisters. And in his culture, I think he was the only boy. He had 5 or 6 sisters. He had a lot of sisters. And he said that in their culture, the guy doesn't do anything. So his sisters get mad at him because he wouldn't do it. They'd have to do the dishes and clean up and all this stuff. He didn't have to do anything because it's just their culture. That's not what was strange. What was strange was him saying, "Oh, it's just I was excited to meet Katy Perry. I didn't really care about the Super Bowl." The hell do you play the game for?
Yeah.
He also didn't believe that when I told him, Tom Coughlin was a real hard ass in training camp for years, and he didn't believe that because in 2011 he wasn't. He was way different.
Oh, he changed, dramatically.
But you go back and watch a 2007 America's game when he sits there and screams, "We lost the game because of illegal procedure." Like I was there for all that.
Yeah.
The funny thing is, coach is always very nice to the fans.
The players,
fantastic. He'd go down at. So at Albany, there was a rickety old fence. Anybody in the 518 that went to this knows, and I'm sure there's people that are from the 518. I don't know if Kenny Tompkins is still here. He's 518, but there's a lot of guys, Clifton Park, Rotterdam, whatever, up in my area, Albany, Schenectady, Detroit, whatever. You went to Albany. You know that rickety old fence. People on this side, people on that side. Coach Coughlin be one of the first ones. Steve Smith was always the first one. He always ran. When I went to 2008, 2009, it was always Steve Smith running down the freaking thing. Or 2007, 2008, whatever the hell it was. Coughlin would always walk. "Oh, how you doing, everybody? It's a beautiful day today, isn't it? It's a beautiful day for football. It's a beautiful day. And then he would get in there and he would tear them guys up. It's pretty funny. It's Coach Koff. Fonz was a really nice guy too. The coaches are usually pretty cool.
I mean, that was always Coughlin's MO when he first started with the New York Giants. The players freaking hated him.
Yeah.
You heard that a lot after the fact that he had to loosen up and change who he was as a coach. To
Yep. That's what I'm saying. Prince wasn't there for any of that. So
yeah, so
he couldn't believe it. I was like, oh yeah, he was rough.
Mike Strahan hated him.
Strahan just hated training camp. That's why he was such an asshole. He was terrible. I'm sorry. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. The guy's
he grew to love him, but he
didn't grow to love anybody down there. He hated training camp. He just hated.
I know he did.
He was a miserable cuss. That guy.
The year we won the Super Bowl, he didn't go to training camp.
And he said if he could have done that his whole career, he would have. He said I would have been fined $2 million. I wouldn't have cared. He goes, of course, the year that I'm not there, though, he gets nice and he takes the guys bowling.
Yeah.
Well, that's Bowler's Club, by the way. I know that very well. Bowler's Club's not there anymore, but when they were bowling, I looked at it, I go, that's Bowler's Club. I used to bowl. I bowled everywhere because I was a bowler when I was younger, but that's Bowler's Club. Like, why the hell wasn't I there that night when they all went bowling?
Anthony says, trying to keep my expectations realistic, not to go into the game too high, but I'm so friggin' ready to watch these boys go at it. Hey, I'm not going to tell you guys what to do. I know there's going to be fans that go crazy when the Giants lose, no matter what the situation is. I'm not going to be one of those fans this year. At least I'm going to try not to be. I can't in the game, of course, but after the game, I'm gonna try to realize what this season's about and where this team is. And some fans are going to disagree with it, and some are going to agree with it. But I'm not going to tell you the team what your expectations should be. I can just tell you what mine are.
Anthony, I'm right there with you, man. I'm trying to keep my expectation realistic, but not try to go into high, and I'm talking myself into a win. I don't know why. But yeah, I'm ready to watch. I just want to see what the hell we are, and I'm ready for Giants football. I'm ready to hang out with you guys and girls this year. It's going to be fun no matter what. It always is. It'd be more fun if we won. Hopefully we can win some games early and be competitive and have a great season. I saw Wambach said Smith had the forgotten catch in Super Bowl 42. Yes, he did. 3rd down and 11 from the 25, and he got that first down. Yep, he got that first down and got out of bounds. The next play was a touchdown to Burris. But you're right. That was a forgotten catch, a forgotten 3rd down conversion between the Tyree catch and the Plaxico Burris touchdown. It was very forgotten. Steve Smith is my favorite player back then. I have a Steve Smith autographed jersey over there. So, yeah, that was my guy.
That's one of the most overlooked plays in that Super Bowl. Was that Steve Smith catch, because everybody forgets even after Burris, Tyree made the catch, we still had to pick up
11.
Yeah, so you're absolutely right. That is one of the most overlooked plays in that drive. There's so many others too. Obviously, the dropped interception by Asante Samuel. I think Jake picked up a 4th and 1. I think, if I'm not mistaken. There were so many crucial plays from within that drive.
Yes, there was.
Yeah, the Kevin Boss catch was huge in that game. Let's go Cowboys. Cowboys, this is our year. Your year to do what?
Yeah, your year to have next year say the same thing.
You're better than us. Don't get it twisted.
This is our year. This is our year to be overhyped and disappoint again. You're right.
Yeah, you're not better. You're better than the Giants, but it's not your year.
Saying much.
Yeah, I mean, let's be honest. If you're a Cowboy fan, you lost Amari Cooper. You lost
Tyron Smith.
That's their biggest loss. Like right now, what they're starting to, what's his name? The guy from the Eagles that's 40 years old on their offensive line, and they're starting
Jason Peters.
Yeah, Peters, and they're starting their rookie as well on that line. So their line's worse. They lose their best wide receiver. I don't know how you're a Cowboys fan going into
Gallup's coming off an injury.
I don't know how you can feel.
The Eagles got way better, and I hate the Eagles, but
yeah,
facts.
I'm not saying the Cowboys are bad; they're good, but it's not your year. It's not.
Eagles are going to the division.
Yeah,
I hate to say it. That makes me sick, but
I'd rather the Cowboys win than the Eagles, to be completely honest.
I would too, but I think Philadelphia is better.
The Eagles division this year. But guys, we are going to close out. It's 12:08. Thank you guys for all the support that you guys always show. You guys are the best.
Absolutely.
We'll be on Bad Dogs on Sunday for the game.
Let's go.
And yeah, we'll be doing the show all year. So thank you guys for being here. Let's go Giants. Let's get a win on Sunday. Can't wait. Bad Dog, do what you do.
Yeah, I know you're ready for some football. I'm ready for some football. I'm ready to have one of these after the game. For you Yankee fans, I'm also ready to rip Aaron Hicks a new asshole. So on that note, hopefully the Giants rip Tennessee a new one on Sunday. Enjoy your Saturday and definitely come hang out with us on Sunday. Big Blue Football's back, baby. Thank you for all the support your show. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Sunday, baby. Ready to go. Bad Diggy Dizzle. Entertaining Talking Sports. We gone. Peace.